Regnum Carrier Esports. DRX. Power Esports. Thrives Esports. Fire Flux Esports. Alter Ego Ares. And finally, Horror Esports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is more than just a finals stage. This is a legacy in the making, so buckle up, because history is about to be written. It is time for the grand finals of the PMWC.
Every single one of these players, every single one of these teams has the opportunity to strike out at that trophy. Will they do it, though, across the next 3 days? We're about to find out. We're about to get the games rolling. Let the games begin as we start to break down what is going to be going on here for day number 1 of the Grand Finals for PMWC. Joining me, Seven, as well as Maxman, to talk about these phenomenal teams. And we have got ourselves an opportunity to see how it's all going to go down. Let's start with one of the names that really does come to the forefront when it comes to international excellence. Regnum Carrier. They didn't have the easiest of times moving forwards, Max, but they are here in that grand final.
Oh, finally, we've seen Regnum Carrier make it back into the finals. Of course, our reigning PMGO champions able to claim victory over there, and they're back once again. And let's keep in mind, Silas, one of the biggest storylines in PUBG Mobile Esports history. He won a PMGC. He's won PMGO at the start of this year. Could he take another trophy here in Riyadh at PMWC? If he can make it happen, he would be the only player in the world to have ever achieved that.
And for Regnum Carrier, it comes down to not getting complacent, especially they have a great day 1. From a conversation that I got a chance to have with Silas, he said the reason why they didn't make it to grand final straight from group stage was because on that second day they did get complacent. They got that win, they felt like they had already qualified, and they slowly just trickled down that leaderboard. On top of that, going into this lobby, when we get to Miramar, there might be clashing with Four Thrives. It's going to be something that we got to keep a close eye on.
In the grand final, I don't think you can be taking these kinds of clashes. You've got to be so careful when it's this kind of money on the line, when it's this kind of prestige on the line. And speaking
the kind of performance we were expecting from Alpha 7. And, you know, they were the defending champions. And like what I just mentioned a while ago, there has been, you know, a drama that happened between Alpha 7 and Horror Esports. Now, not exactly sure what happened, but allegedly, you know, there was an incident wherein Sleepy was inside the elevator and somehow he was with maybe the group of Alpha 7 and he was all alone and they started laughing. Again, this are like the whispers, you know, like the rumors that we hear from inside the community. But the only thing that I saw was that Alpha 7 Revo actually put Horror Esports down at the bottom of the rankings. So that's the only thing that I reacted to. If you guys are, you know, like following me on my Instagram, I actually praised what Alpha 7 Revo actually did, you know, because he sent a heartfelt apology to Horror Esports, which is kind of rare, but shows a lot of courage and of course character for Revo. So Big shout out to Mr. Alone. Hey, thank you so much for coming back. You know, we worked we worked hard just to make sure that everything will go smooth, just in time for the first game, just like what I said. So anyway, I believe we're going to start the first game in Sanhok. Again, this is day number 1 of the grand finals here at PMWC Esports World Cup. So I don't know. Please let me know down there in the comment section, like, which team you think is gonna reign supreme for today. So first 6 matches, that's today. We are excited. I think we are about to drop into Sanhok. So let's see what's going to happen. I'm just going to check, like, where are they dropping exactly. I did look at it a while ago, but yeah, here we go. Okay, so for Sanhok, let's see if this is going to be accurate. Expected drop locations of all 16 teams. Ah, okay. Regnum Karya actually made it, right? Did they? Yeah, okay, number 11. Okay, here we go. This is going to be... So I guess it's okay. Yeah, everything is working out just as planned. RCG, yeah, they're headed towards Cow area, so that's on the northern sides. Also Weibo. Hatin. Okay, so I believe there's going to be an exchange. Power, that's going to be for Thrives. Ooh, not a very good start for 4 Thrives. T24 and IQ already out. That's, man, early elimination. So, okay, we also have 1 casualty from the side of Power. Alter Ego Error is also in an altercation up against IDA, and that would be, Not exactly sure where Alter Ego Error is actually dropped. Oops. Oh, they're in the middle. Okay, let's go. Let's go! Make sure that you guys hit that notification bell so that every time we come live, or we go live rather, you guys will be notified. Oh, Falah.
Falak's got to stand tall here,
Down
try
to
and
our
go for
last man
something a little bit
standing.
large. At least show them that Hearts-In is not free and open right now for 4 Thrives. I think that they're just going to keep dropping this from day to day. I don't think either team wants to give up Hearts-In here. To find that final play. Now Falak had a big amount of influence in that group stage for 4 Thrives. See how well he can step up to the plate here versus Power, because you know this team is not going to go for the 1v1s. They're not going to send in like Lemmings. That's going to be a very difficult task. S12K though, gets the reload on it. They hear it, trying to bait them out here.
Nice.
First connection's good. That's how Haji down. Baited in, looking to see if he can get the
2v1.
follow-up tap off so he
Oh,
could literally remove him from the equation. The second as well. Ooh, wow, that could have been real bad for Power.
That was still a,
Chills
you know,
there,
like a
damn.
close call.
Yeah, that could have been very, very
Oh,
bad.
man.
Great setup though.
It wasn't
on
a very
the
good start
doorway,
for,
right, one either side.
fourth
As soon
prize.
as Al Haji went down, they completely changed up the game plan. They sent in the hammer first, and it was not enough, so they had to go for something a little bit more strategic. But that was good. from Falak, at least that puts a little bit of fear.
That was still
in Power.
like I
Now
could
that
say
Fourth Rise understands this is
a
likely
great
to happen
effort,
every
coming from
game.
Falak, considering
Be prepared for this
the
next one,
situation.
but
I mean, he was
Sanhok
left
is a
there
great
all
map
alone
for
to
putting
deal
up big
with
points
like
early
3
on and getting
remaining
that
players
initial lead,
coming from
especially
Power.
at the
So
start of any
I
grand
mean,
final.
you just have to
Oh,
give it
yeah.
credit for that one.
Dream scenario for Power as well. You know, it looked like it wasn't really the true test of themselves in the group stage. But what we saw unleashed throughout survival stage, that's where they thrive. It's what we saw last year as well. It feels like they sort of dial it up a little bit. You know, they assess the lobby and realize, look, guys, we just need to play to our strengths. So much of that carries on over here. It's a nice hard drop. Good result in the end, only losing 1 player in Ragnar. Could have gone bad, but you avoid that outcome. So they're going to be happy. For Fourth Rise, that's an instant red mark, though. It's one of those games where you're thinking, okay, got to sit here, watch the flow of the action. Half an hour later, we'll be back. And you imagine they'll probably have something to say against Power throughout the course of playoffs now.
It's a big blemish. Definitely a big blemish coming through for the guys on Fourth Rise, but we know that they can bounce back. They had a little bit of a slip over towards their final matches. They still put up a huge scoreline, right? And I think if it wasn't for Alter Ego just blasting out of control, they would have remained in first place. So saying they had a slip is maybe a bit too bold from my camp, honestly. Fireflux, though, this is a team that did not slip up at all. They just kept on climbing. They were rung after rung on the ladder over in survival stage. That's where they looked fabulous.
I
And it
mean,
wasn't
like,
the case, in
I'm
my
already
opinion, that they
guessing,
looked great
like,
because it was weaker teams. I think for
what
Fireflux,
game
they
do you
had
think
a
Hora
real
Esports will be able
improvement
to score
over
a
those 2
chicken
days.
dinner?
Oh, yeah. You think about the positioning, the way they were playing off one another. Similarly, to
What do
obviously
you-
what
what
we
do
were
you think? What do you
describing
guys
there and
think?
highlighting as a good setup from Power, right? Those close quarters crossfires, the way they're playing off one another. That's what Fireflux were doing very consistently, but the rotations were on point. It did feel like they were hitting a skill ceiling.
Hi,
There's a
Rupesh.
lot this team can give, and we were just seeing it.
It was super cool to me because I think in a lot of Fireflux's games in the past, it's usually either a case of you highlight Scarface or you highlight Ketch. It's never both players at the same time. I think here at PMWC, it is a wonderful experience to be able to watch Fireflux and see that both Ketch and Scarface are both on their A game at the same time. It's a rare scenario, but they're bringing out where it counts here on the
Hora!
Weibo trying to rotate through here. This is over towards the
For
east side
MV
around
Dev.
the
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go with Hora. I mean, they're one of my
Heavy
prediction.
hits been sent their way.
You know, if we are going to talk about like any surprises that happened for the tournament, I think that would
If
be
you're
Alter
unfamiliar,
Ego
of
Errors.
course, as well.
Nobody was
Opportunities for some,
like, I don't
let's
think
say, interesting gameplay
really
from them when it
like
comes to the weapon
anyone
choices.
went
But
for
we'll
Alter
see if they
Ego
decide
Errors
to pull that
as
out in
their
what is
solid,
going to
you
be
know,
a
like
very
pick
important
for
set of games here.
EWC,
Yeah,
and
trying to see for
it
the suit,
was
the bow, the explosive bow.
something that
It looked cool, right? I
really
think
was
we
a
didn't
strong
necessarily
statement,
see
you know,
the
for
true
Alter
power
Ego
of it, because a
Errors.
lot of it was
The fact that
zoning
they
and
were able
spacing for the
to
team,
climb
as
up
opposed to
the
finding knocks,
ranks
where he did
during
find the flush
their
out of it. It was
first
a
6
wonderful moment,
matches,
you know, we got to really
that
get
says a
hype about
lot,
that.
you know.
But here in these
I mean, they were
matches, we
part
wanted
of
to
like
favour
top
the
10
DBS,
teams, or
which
like
is
maybe
much
even
more
top 5.
meta here in PUBG Mobile.
Not exactly sure what happened during the group
Over
stages,
towards the
but
northwest side, though,
again, you
very
know, like
hard
Alter
shift. We
Ego
call this
Errors
one close to
still
the
living up
northwest
to their
island, but
name, you know,
all the
to
way
their
over towards those
reputation.
confluence
Errors being the
compounds.
God of War,
Alter Ego's in position to snatch that one up, and
really
even
shows a,
weakened
you know,
earlier
like
after
massive
Rosemary was able to
power.
have a little hello
Still,
down towards that south side.
I mean,
They send one player in, but can they withstand
like
the weight
Rosemary
of Alter
is,
Ego as they
and
move
I
in
always
from
say
the
this, he
A lot
is
of trust in
not
that team.
a stranger at all, you know, when it comes to explosive gameplays, and we expect nothing less, you know, coming from Rosemary. And speaking of Rosemary, here comes Alter Ego Errors. Ooh, but Hora Esports actually having a fight somewhere, and if I'm not mistaken, their drop spot is also over to the northeast side.
Depends whether Moana actually goes down or not, because they need to reset on this one, but it is
Scarface took a
bringing up the
point.
rear here as
We
the
got
Anti-Galacticos opted for a
one player
wild
knocked down.
rotate
From
towards
Alter
that
Ego
northwest
Errors,
side, trying to gamble on this one,
REG, and
understanding that it's gonna be
APG.
extremely packed down towards the south. They'd rather not play with that. Gamble on a northwest shift. Power finding Silas.
Ooh.
That is Al Haji coming into contest as Regnum Kaya made a big rotate over towards the northwest side as well on that bridge, and Power was comfortable just to wait that one out. And Regnum Kaya starting to get dismantled as Power puts more points on the tables.
Easy got visual contact though, up towards the top of the hill there. The third party arriving. Yangon Galacticos that catch whiff of this and want to see if they can steal away any points.
Ooh, Doc already got knocked down. Same thing goes for Top, and Top is already out.
The cover they've got provided. Easy's looking for the confirmation as well.
And that was because of Fireflux. And now Sky.
Seems like Joker's showing up once again for E Arena.
This is a horrible push
also
for a
got
lot of
knocked
teams on the
down.
southeast side.
Not exactly
E
sure
Arena,
where the
Fireflux,
circle went.
Horror, APG and Team Seeker are all banding around Pi down at the moment. There's only so long until that starts to pop off and the tension snaps.
Oh no, Sky's out.
Already we're losing more and more players.
Ooh, man.
Getting sandwiched between 3 teams. They desperately tried to fend off against Fireflux, and if they're able to do that, they could have maybe moved that west, but they were penned in.
A horror story with Easy walking away with another pickup on that one. 6 elims already for Power. These are the sort of games they thrive on as well. It feels like this team very easily goes once they get momentum. You know, they feed that hot hand, keep it building. It's nice to see for the Power fans out there.
It's funny coming out of survival stage, right? It's where they shine a lot of times. And it wouldn't really be a PMWC without Power making it through survival stage, so I'm glad they do make that happen. King finding a shot over towards Rita. From Weibo? Oh, Thunder Talks here on the western side, yeah. So they do have good control. This is coming down from Camp Alpha earlier on. Ida, like we said before, did drop a player earlier on to Alter Ego, who have moved across, as you see here on the map. We'll check out where this next circle goes. Yangon Galacticos hopes it goes to the northwest side. It's not meant to be, though, as we start to come back down onto the south island. So fantastic compound.
I think, you know, Team Secret has that little advantage up against APG, you know, considering their position. So what Team Secret need to do at this moment is just apply a lot of pressure onto the side of APG, and that's it. But yeah, there will be a lot of fights that definitely is going to happen over to the northeastern side.
If they could, and that was working for them for placements. Again, here though, you're going to have a lot of teams with targets on you. DRX losing a man very early into this one with their rotation, I believe, against Fireflux. Going to be in position to see if they can snatch away any points, dealing some damage, chipping down the Falcons. Would be a nice way to get started for them. See the roam up from Power again as well. Always on our screens at the minute. Thunder Talks here playing inside the compound. You get one clean knock from King, coming alive already.
Vahiden dropped. Thunder Talks do have days to play around with.
DRX versus Zenith's Red Force.
You can play around this coastal area.
Ooh.
DRX is finding a huge amount of success from that high ground they're playing towards the center of the circle at the moment. It's so hard to pass by them, especially for Nongchen Red Force, who are currently trapped over towards ruins, hoping, praying.
But this is just like, you know, the warm-up. Sanhok is a fast-paced game, so this will get their bloods boiling and, you know, like, good enough to play for the remaining 5 more matches. So Yangon Weibo right now going up against APG. Ooh, but from behind, that's Tospik.
Being able to rip that 1 point away. But that just sets the alarm bells for Regnum Karia, Loxy and Tospik. From up top of the hillside, they get vision, take some bullets down range and claim one back of their own.
It's a horrible approach for Regnum Karia. And they have to send it. Romeo should have heard that. Loxy's going to send forward, so at least they have a player in the back line there. Nope, never mind, both get in. And Romeo yet to take shots.
Romeo, where art thou, Romeo? Believe in horror. Of course, this is just the first game, guys. Don't worry about it.
Regnum Kari on the drive-by. It's a very messy landing trying to get over the bridge, and this is Alter Ego that, of course, will bite the hand that feeds immediately. Krypton goes in to close the gap. Just Tospik really low on health, easy maneuvers, and you shut them both down. So goodbye, Regnum Karia.
Yeah, it's an embarrassing flop on the vehicle.
Yeah.
And here we go again, you know, for the side of Alter Ego Eris.
Well, usually fairly simple to do. I think they want to stop off over towards the bridge, but I think in that scenario, most teams have got these areas locked down. It's not the easiest game to play out, but we head up towards
It's like, you know, for alter ego errors, I feel like they're always 2 steps ahead, you know, in how they handle everything, you know, from inside the games.
The north side of it can cut
Team
out a lot of
Falcons,
teams come through on that western edge.
I've always
DRX
been
is going to
curious
destroy
about
as they
Ralph,
wrap round that high
and
ground over towards Ida.
and just like I
Well, we'll
said,
have
you know,
those
I
nice
think
sight lines.
this team is very diverse, and I just feel like they're gonna bring in another flavor into this tournament. So let's just see how far they can actually, you know, like go for the grand finals.
Falcons have been biding their time. Saw an opportunity here to attempt to engage from underneath the bridge with the nade to cast that one out, not directly on target. Romeo as well being nipped out by the zone, so he goes down. So effectively just a duo. You can see he's back towards the bridge side, not really in a great position whatsoever.
I want some chips. Okay,
Falcons,
maybe I will
vehicles to play with, good split, all 4 players alive.
have something
Smart
delivered.
priming the nade, resetting that one until he sees an opportunity to actually get some chip damage off with it if they go for the crash down towards the bridge. DRX as well, finally getting revenge on Fireflux.
Scarface going down there.
What time is it from your side of the world,
Should be
guys?
running into Reefers.
And why are you
Maybe
guys so
soon,
quiet?
as the teams
This
all
is a
move
watch
towards
party. You're
northeast,
supposed to
hold
say
out
something
versus
down in the
Secret.
comment section and, you know, like have a conversation. But right at this moment, Team Falcons right now going up against Ennis Red Force, and it is not looking too good for Falcons. Oh, but I can say pretty much the same thing for the Korean team. I mean, 2 casualties. And oh man, there's even a third party lurking from just within the area. It is going to be hard for Falcons right now to survive. And Nongshim Red Force just capitalizing on this one. Doc Zhaw's been getting some points as well up against Team Secret. I already said, like, you know, Team Secret did have the upper hand up against APG, but, you know, it's a wild thing. APG was able to flip the script, and I guess, you know, that speaks a lot with how they went, you know, for that altercation.
Yes, there's an opportunity to push through here, but it's likely that Nongshim Red
15,
Force is
16
holding
from
these
Dubai.
angles.
Oh, you're watching from Dubai.
Even so, it's
Thank you for
Nongshim
hanging
Red
out
Force
with
was able
me.
to tear you apart.
It's
Little
7
bit of
in the
a
evening
limp
here in the
approach from the
Philippines,
Falcons.
and
Next up,
I
they've
actually
gone
just got
towards
back
Weibo.
home, and the
A
signal
big
is
old split
not.
coming through from
Oh
Alter
man, it's not
Ego.
really giving at the moment.
You have all 4
Notification
players
didn't
alive.
show up. That's why
Now,
there's less viewers.
boys, place them in
I know, right? I don't
tough
even know,
territory,
but if
I
you
think me
guys
and you
can
are
help
kind of
me,
clear in
like
favour
maybe
of
invite your
Alter Ego,
friends or like
enjoying
invite
their
the
rotates.
community to
Much
come
more
hang
of a
out
good
with
point to
us,
me.
you know,
Elliot
would
saying
appreciate it.
perhaps their playstyle's unsustainable.
I don't
My
know.
only counter to that is
Maybe if,
that
like
I
if
still
you
think
guys
they
enjoy
would've done
just like
great
being
even
with
on the
me,
games where maybe they didn't
or like
deserve to
watching the
get
game
all
with
the
me,
points in the
or the
world
games
because it was
rather
off the
with
back of
me,
team mistakes, but
then
I
let's
still
just
think
have
they
a
would've
party
got
here.
great
I'm
placements,
still
great
waiting for
points in
Coach
those
Abby to
games
come and join
regardless,
us,
just
you know,
because
for
of
the
the way they
stream.
played them.
But
Yeah, I think it's been very
okay, getting
heads up
back
PUBG
into the
Mobile from
action.
them.
So
Super
top
cerebral
again,
gameplay.
the only player from
A lot
APG
more
that got
positives
knocked
than
out
really negatives to highlight whatsoever.
back to the
But on
lobby.
here
So
as well,
still
he's been able
Jal,
to
Doc,
snatch
and Riff
away
is
the
playing
last
for the
man
team
there, so
here.
Navallo
And
goes
so
down
far,
for
so good, I can
Falcons.
say, even if they're
Used to
down
have
to
2
just 3
solos,
members. I
actually,
mean, they were
3
able to
solos
rack up
alive.
6
ET
more
still
points,
inside
and
the
now
little shed.
they're
Bunkered
coming
down
after
early.
E-Arena.
A secret
Oh,
agent in the back line
oh
of Alter
damn, that
Ego.
was a good shot
Sakura
coming
as
from
well here for
Sakura.
E-Arena, spotting out onto Reefus on the drive up. Couldn't get himself behind any hard cover, so he
Yeah, I
falls.
mean, don't forget to
Yeah, it's a really
hit
hard
that
push.
notification bell
APG,
so
they
that
couldn't send all
like
their
every
players
time I
down
go
either.
live, you
Reefus
guys can
was sent in as
come
almost
hang
a
out with me.
sacrificial lamb to try and get an opening knock, but they couldn't afford to have all their team down there.
Oh,
Just
Hora
in case they had
definitely
to
will be
pivot.
bouncing
They
back.
also
That is
don't
for
know
sure.
that
You know,
either
this
the
is,
weak
you know,
squad because
Sanhok, as
maybe
we all
they
know,
can
is a
put pressure
fast-paced
there.
game. So
There
this is
so
basically
many
just a
sidelines as
warm
you're
up, you know,
passing
for
through, though.
all of the
It is
teams here,
unlikely
the
that
getting
Alter
to know
gets too much
stage.
further into this game.
He's just been
But
able to get the backstab
there's
onto Rosemary. This is what
really
he
a
was
lot
waiting
of
for
risk
so
here.
long. You kind of forgot he was
Alter
there,
Ego,
and he paid the
Ares,
comeuppance
okay, they
because
already
of it.
have
Even
5
more
points in
damage
the
from
bag.
Izzy, actually. That's
Highest
onto
is coming
Thunderbolts.
from Power, and they're
For a
down
solo
to their
duo
last
for
member
Power,
here.
still being able to steal away
Thunder
some
Talk's been
additional
doing
points
great
is
as well. I
actually
mean,
huge.
Finally
unfortunately,
gets
though,
taken
they
down,
have
but
just
what
been
a
eliminated.
run from
So
them.
we're
9
down to
million for the
7
match.
teams.
That's a good result. That's a great result. I don't know
Oh
if they
man,
just
crazy,
got
crazy.
into placement point range there, but even so, it would have just been the 1 point anyway. But that does drop Alter Ego from a 4-man down to a 3, and you're losing your main man, Mr. Rosemary. not always easy. And then again, Alva as well as
What's
Krypton
up?
have
Good
been having
evening
a
to
big
the
step
real
up.
McCoy.
It is not just the Rosemary show anymore. There's plenty more to this team.
Might actually be a good storyline for us in the booth and the viewers at home as well.
Maybe you guys can join me here for the real McCoy. Maybe you can come hang out in the gaming room so that, you know, we can all talk about what is happening currently. I know you are watching down there in the living room, so might as well join us here. Ooh!
Harassing both Alter Ego and Thunder Talks. The push up onto Weibo. Finish that off. So E-Arena snatching away the odd point here and there. 4 players alive for that squad as well, Blank. Could be a big talking point later.
E-Arena had been a eye-opening squad.
I think,
anyway, like, wow, this,
you know, Alter Ego Errors will bag the first chicken here. I just feel it.
The more they've had these moments of success here and there.
Although Rosemary's already out. Let's see if that was still pushed through.
Challenge out for the first place spot, or they're a team that's towards middle of the pack, because some plays are great.
But you know, it doesn't change the fact that Alter Ego Errors is still a pretty dominant force in this tournament, and I think they are one of the biggest threats that every team needs to deal with, to be honest. And again, as you can see, you know, Krypton was able to put down Sakura for that nade, which is outstanding.
Alter Ego still looking menacing. Bit of a chip back over, Sakura down. 3 players alive, and Krypton is a rough position here on the hillside.
It's a smart one, though. You play in front of the rock because you're assuming they're going to be sending those nades over the top of it anyway, because they think you're hiding behind there. If they peeked up, they would have found a clear and easy shot.
Mormon is still prone here, still on his belly, but let's see if he can actually sneak in an attack here. Wow, that was a good shot coming from Mormon of the arena. Unfortunately, was able to. He wasn't really able to follow through, but he was able to shut down at least one person from Alter Ego Errors, and that would be Alva. But look at that. Wow, Moana caught a nade.
Joker trapped in position, pinned by the barrage of bullets. You can still get the save onto your
Got
mate as well.
blasted.
Yeah, this is a great time to reset,
with a nade.
recalculate here for Alter Ego.
Man,
They know
Dr.
they've got a prime position
Direct
inside the
saw
circle to play
as
off with the 3
IDA
players.
Aaron.
Awesome nade from Aaron over the top
Arena
there.
just like
Will
that.
take down Sakura. Perfect air burst on that one as well.
Man, I mean,
Despite
like,
everything, it is Ida as well as Alter
there's
Ego
really a
getting through to
lot
the
of
game.
back and
Good
forth,
shots
a
from
lot of
Krypton.
trades,
Keeps going
trade-offs
forward.
that's been
Like we
happening, you
said,
know,
it
from
doesn't matter.
like
No
this,
Rosemary doesn't mean
the
that
moment that
Alter
we
Ego's
began
down and out.
match
And I'm loving
number
the fact that
1.
he kept the pressure on as well. Whilst the team was trying to reset themselves from the pickup and the heal, he was harassing. So you're still a little bit more paranoid. You can't take the fight to them. Ida have to stay tucked in for now. Rita's incredibly low as well.
For Ida, their big opportunity here is the shack right in front of the hard cover in the rock. They can get over towards it. It's big news, and Krypton had to hit that shot over towards Darkin. Now Eren moves up into position, and they find a decent nade over the back. Not quite, a little bit short here. They have a very strong position now, and that reset you were talking about does hamper them.
Oh
Yes, Krypton
man,
was in
just look at
position.
that. Everybody
The
knows
rest of
where
Alter
Alter
Ego
Ego
weren't
Errors
quite
will
there
be
to take
coming
shots
from,
as
so
Ida crossed,
this could
and that
be
was the
a little
prime time
tricky
to do it.
for Alter Ego Errors, but no!
Man.
No!
Fine, Doc.
Okay,
remove
down
him.
to 2
Focus up
teams.
on what's ahead of you.
Oh man,
It's
I
a good
got my
back now as
first
well. It means
chicken
they can
right
play off
here.
the back of this hard cover. Again,
I mean, there was
approaching this
really
position
no
over towards
doubt.
Ida
I mean, it was
is
pretty
not
obvious
going
that
to
Alter
be
Ego Errors is
especially with the fact
just really
that
gonna go for the chicken for the
resources,
first game. I
utility,
mean, bagging
extremely
double-digit
low on the
elimination
side of
points for
Alter
the
Ego,
first game
but
here
what a
is just
banger of a
really
first game.
showing,
10
you know, the
eliminations,
prowess, their
as well as a
tenacity,
chance at a chicken
and
dinner here.
overall power, you know, in
It would be
this.
massive
I mean,
them.
for the first game alone, and
Keep that energy
you
going
just know
from
that
the
they're going to
group
be
stage.
dominating
Show us.
this one. I mean, it's
Wasn't
going
a
to be a
fluke.
3.
Chip damage
This
there
is a
could be monumental as
3v3,
well.
right?
No
Oh,
chance.
but a little
Moana goes down, there is one
mishap
shot out.
that just
Eren
happened,
very low,
but
and Krypton has to
Alter
step
Ego
back
Errors
into cover.
quickly flipped the
Rita playing
script
on the
here
back
up
foot.
against
Being pushed
IDA,
upon now.
and
The last man. Timing is
Alpha
absolutely everything
already
on this, and
going
Alba was set to
inside,
highlight him.
charging
He's got the
in, and there you
DBS
go.
in hand,
Alter
wants to
Ego
put the
Errors.
cap,
I
looking
did
to
say it.
harass,
I did
and
say it.
that's how
Alter
Alter
Ego Errors will
Ego
be getting
do
the
it.
first
Straight
chicken
back,
dinner, you know.
showing us that they've got the talent, they've got
Oh
the
man.
communication, and they've also got themselves the opening chicken dinner.
It's a great game from Alter Ego, and a promising one at that as well. We have it at home there saying that just because Rosemary down does not mean that this squad is not
Well,
as
that is
fearsome
true.
as
That is
they
true.
come. That was
I will
incredible
have to
match.
agree
Yes,
with
they
Max
missed the
on that
rotate
one.
towards Ida
Just
as they
look
were
at
coming
that.
across the road, but it
I
was
feel like, you
smartly
know, they're
played.
making
And
it
3v4
they're making it
versus
really
E-Arena
look
as
so
well there,
easy,
where
you know, for
counted.
us.
Really good
Wow.
plays from Alter Ego all around. But
Because you know, usually when Rosemary's already out, most of you guys would say, oh, you know, the team wouldn't be able to score chicken dinner because Rosemary's already out of the game. But you know, I think they're shutting down naysayers, and they're just proving to everyone that, you know, even without Rosemary, the team could still be as fearsome, you know, and as effective inside a battlefield. And you know, and this is one way, of course, of showing to everyone just how strong Alter Ego Ares is. And given the situation, by the way, I mean, they came from the top, and there were two teams at the foot of that hill. And I thought it was going to be easy, you know, for both of the teams to just really gun down Alter Ego Ares. But, you know, it was like a breeze for Alter Ego Ares to have managed two teams there, getting the chicken dinner. So that was great. That was really, really great. Okay, so we have 3 minutes. We have 3 minutes of something. I'm just gonna get myself something to drink and something to eat. I'm a little bit hungry, so please don't go away. I will be back after a short while, okay? Let's go Hora, coming from Shume. Yeah, let's go Hora. So Alter Ego is taking the first chicken dinner in Sanhok. We'll see who will be, like which team is gonna be next in scoring another chicken dinner. But in the meantime, ladies and gents, please give me a few minutes, you know, to grab something to eat and something to drink before we get back to the games, okay? So stay there. Chill for a while.
Cybertron's future is near.
Gua ada prediksi sebelum semuanya terjadi.
Tekanan. Apa itu?
Final, saatnya kita bersinar.
Lu nggak bisa ngalahin apa yang lu nggak bisa prediksi. Kalian bakal ingat tim kita.
Number 1 in the groups and now number 1 to start off the grand finals for PMWC. Alter Ego is operating on another level. Who is going to be able to stop them? It's only 1 game down in the final, but that's a terrifying statement to make from the word go here, Seven.
It is. I mean, continuing on the performance that we saw out of them in group stages, being able to control a lot of the circle. Once they felt comfortable, they started doing a 1-1-1-1 split, and that ultimately given the lead when it came down to Regnum Karya trying to push in. They had every angle, and it was an easy fight for this squad.
I mean, when you look at Sanhok in particular, Trifecta is just such a key transition point. They controlled it from like the early stages of the game until the very end, and it started with a hot drop against Thunder Talk. They fixed it, they go boot camp, and because of that, they have an easy chance to go for the win. 23 points right out of the gate. SEA here to win it all.
Impressive high ground control, impressive fight against the arena as well to be able to salvage everything after that and then get the 23 points. It's brilliant stuff from them. Following things up as well, Alpha Gaming with 12 points, being able to position themselves after a lot of eliminations, Max, getting themselves in a decent spot to start off the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, big fight happening in Painan versus, I believe it was Team Secret, able to get the squad wipe onto that one. And actually, we were critical about Doc. He kind of saved this game for his team. They got them right into the top 3, eliminated most of DRX as they were trying to exit out of Ruins. Are we going to see them be at the bottom of the rankings and Doc MVP like in PMGO? I hope not, but it's so far, it is going that way.
If it's this kind of performance, I mean, I don't hate it from APG. As you mentioned, it came down to Doc being able to clutch up a top 3 situation for this squad. If they continue like that, one thing that I do have to kind of nitpick a little bit, even though it is Sanhok, is them losing top early. If they would have had a little bit more of those players left alive there towards the end, it would have been a lot better.
Do you know, there were so many favorite moments from this game. Do you know what why are you already saying?
Hello?
Do you know what one of my favorite moments was from this game? Stop him. It was both of your guys' picks going out straight away in the game. Max, what do you have to say about yourself?
So, Horror were alive.
So, yeah?
I blinked.
Yeah.
They weren't alive anymore.
That's weird.
That's all I have to say.
How about yourself, Seven, with 4 thrives?
It happens when a team decides to hot drop in the grand finals on day 1 on the first match. 4 thrives. Come on, what are we doing? To be fair, though, they said that after this, they don't really have to worry about anything else. But I don't care. 4 thrives. Please stop hot dropping, even if we're only going to be playing Sanhok twice.
And who was my pick coming into the grand finals? What's wrong, Max?
I don't know what to say.
I'm annoyed.
Was it actually your pick?
Yeah, of course.
It was his pick. Barney too.
They look crazy good in the group stage, and now they're controlling crazy amounts of space. Anyway, that's by the by. Let's take a look at the highlights from this game as well.
One thing I really liked, actually, we're talking about it a little bit, Seven, during this game, is the rhythm at which Alter Ego play. Not talking about the control on Trifecta, which we already highlighted was phenomenal. Is the way they take engagements that make sense. They take a big fight, they maybe take a few knocks, full reset, bring everyone back up, get information, transition to a better position. It's just very by the book, and yet so efficient, so well executed, so snappy. The Alter Ego, I was a little bit scared that what they did in group stage, it would be hard to replicate here in the finals, but
okay, anyway.
Right away in the first game.
The main one comes down to that scouting. I'm really enjoying the scouting that they do, and as you mentioned,
that was a great start for Alter Ego Ares.
Making sure that they do
hopefully, you know,
Rosemary, though, to be fair, Rosemary ended up getting caught off guard there by Power.
And
talking about Power, what an impressive matchup this team too, winning the hot drop.
Yeah, very important, all things considered.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back.
Think twice about that. They've still got 2 more Sanhoks
Let's
to play
just listen
here, Max,
to what they have to say about
everything. Those next 2 Sanhoks?
Look, you maybe don't want to ruin your Sanhoks when Alter Ego already created a big lead.
Yeah,
that's you know what? Because it's not about you need to be top 8 to be in a good position. You need to win it all, and you're not going to do so by hot dropping on one map.
Yeah, the thing is if one member of Power isn't there, I think Alter Ego wins this even harder. They've got Rosemary and Moana just waiting for that Thunder Talk kind of rotate around on the left. What am I doing? I'm supposed to be the desk host. Go on, talk, Seven.
Good. I think, what was it? It was like 13 eliminations. I'm with you. If they would have kept Rosemary, they would have been so much more aggressive because what we have seen this team do, which is just gain all of that control. They would have been willing to take those fights, and even at the end, when we saw them having to just slow down and get a reset, it would have been a lot faster.
Yeah, I kind of want to steal a point that you were talking about earlier, Kalaris, during the game. It's actually, they're very good at knowing the weaknesses of their position. Thunder Talk up northwest, they were trying to wrap around. They instantly understood, okay, this is our weak point, we are going to get wrapped around. They set up a little bit of a defense. Power, as we said, that one solo player does kind of ruin it for them. They do lose Rosemary. But Thundertalk, if they don't take care of that main threat at that point, chances are they don't win that match. So they're very, very good at just understanding what is going to be the issue in matches when it comes to taking wins.
That said, I do have a lot of hope for our Korean overlords, as I normally do in these tournaments, boys. And take a look at Nongshim Red Force going up against DRX as well. Two teams that could do a lot here. But DRX in the distance, dodging bullets left, right, and center, then being able to shut down Nongshim Red Force. There was some cool moments all over the place from this Game 7.
There was. I mean, you have Narvalo being able to clutch up for Team Falcons, too. That was a pleasant surprise. Remember, last time I was talking about him, he was just getting eliminated too early on for his team. So it's good to see it now, being able to see the evolution of Narvalo. But I got to call out 3 teams, actually 2 teams. It has to be Nongshim Red Force and Fireflux. Nongshim Red Force, I'm going to give you a bit of a slight one because you did have a lot of the area. You had a circle that was kind of blessing you. But these 2 teams just play a little bit too passive for what the lobby is currently showing us.
Let's check in with our teams coming into Erangel. Erangel is an unbelievably important battleground here. And 4 Thrives alongside Alter Ego have been able to truly thrive on this battleground, Max, but who's going to be able to do it?
I mean, if you're able to get these point averages we've seen in the survival and the league stage, right, coming in from 4 Thrives, Alter Ego, if you're getting around like 6 elims, 7 elims average on every Erangel, that again, you're playing this battleground 3 times per day, you're going to start creating an even bigger lead. And the fact that Alter Ego start with a win, and they are our Erangel top fragger, bro, they're scary right out of the gate here.
Yeah, definitely. With 50% of the maps being, of course, Erangel here, you need to be performing on the grassy pastures.
Well, I mean, for 4 Thrives, as I was saying, okay, you know what? Let's get out of the way with Sanhok. You got that hot drop. Hopefully, you'll be able to learn for tomorrow. But now, going into Erangel, all their wins came in Erangel. Whenever we were in group stages, they ended up with, what was it, top 3, 4 times out of 6 matches that we played this. So they need to make sure they take full advantage here of Erangel.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they'll be able to make it happen. Again, as you said, Kalaris, 50% of your matches are on this battleground, on the grassy pastures. You want to try and have some good time over there, and if any teams can be making it, all the top fraggers we just saw on that graphic could be the ones to make it happen.
Definitely. I expect we'll see a bounce back from 4 Thrives. They're not going to go down line down. But of course, over in-game right now, you guys can get your hands on the PUBG Mobile Airdrop Carnival, and it's now live. Don't miss the final 3 days this weekend. Log in to summon your airdrop surprise.
That you already know which of these amazing teams we actually went for. I mean, from my side, I only have like 1 team out from my prediction, so that would be Alpha 7. So I still got Team Falcons, of course, and Alpha Gaming, still playing, and of course my dark horse will be Horror Esports. What about you, Coach?
For me, it's Nongshim Red Force and 4 Thrives. I only have 2 teams left. So boo-hoo-hoo, sad me, but yeah, rooting for the remaining 2 teams I have for my picks. Okay, first game went to Alter Ego, right? What can you say about that?
Wait a minute. So our official map feed is now live on. Okay. So I think we need to.
You guys are over at home as well can not only be watching the stream that's going on here, but make sure to have the map feed open too live because obviously that is
I want the map feed
regarding how these teams are going to be rotating, how they're moving. And speaking of that, I paid very close attention whilst I was kind of analyzing the games from day to day how Yangon was going to be rotating on things, because of course coming from Military Island is not the easiest of things you have to do in this game.
Hi Gaurav!
Sometimes it was by
I love how everyone's like trying to aura farm before the game starts. Do you know what aura farming means?
No.
It's when you like do some like tiny cool moves. Yeah, that's what it is.
So yeah, this is going to be turned up to 11 into hard mode, and we know that this is a team that surprised us. Can they surprise us?
Wait, okay, so I just got the map feed working. So I'm still waiting for the games to start. But anyway, you know, I was so happy about, like, because I already said before the games actually ended, or the game 1 actually ended, I already knew that Alter Ego Ares will be the one to bag the first chicken dinner.
They're riding a wave right now. I think they have great momentum, and the teamwork's like really there, I think. And I think you made a good point in the first game when you said that they are shining with or without Rosemary, which wasn't like the way it was before. So that's really good.
So we actually have one question over here. Ocean Rai, in your opinion, who do you think is gonna dominate? Well, we're gonna stick with the teams, you know, with like the teams that we predicted. So that's Alpha 7, which is like already out of the game. So there's Team Falcons, Alpha Gaming, and of course Horror Esports. But you know, we just have to, of course, recognize the power being shown to us by Alter Ego Ares as well. I mean, they were able to bag the first chicken dinner, so not exactly sure if that will continue on for the side of Alter Ego Ares. But the fact that they were able to really dominate the group stages, you know, even during their first day. So that is something. That is something. So I'm not sure. Alter Ego Ares has always been, you know, like one of the I consider like big threats in any like a big threat rather in any tournament. So we also have to keep our eyes on to Alter Ego Ares. How are you, and how is everything? Well, I'm okay. You know, we just had a little bit of a hiccup that happened before we started the stream, but everything's working out. For now. Right, Coach?
Yep, everything's great. I hope it can keep that up for the remainder of the tournament. Sometimes you just have to wait for things to go smooth. I guess that's the same thing that's gonna happen for the rest of the teams tonight. Especially for our bets, our dark horses, Alpha, Fourth Rise and Aura. So I guess they also have a slow start like us.
Who absolutely dominated back in the group stage. Is there going to be a bit of back for blood gameplay on that one? That's what I'm curious about. Are they going to have this revenge moment? You don't want to have 2 games of slow starts. That's a squad that needs to build.
APG currently
Alter Ego is way ahead, 23 points.
Yeah, I mean, like, very strong performance, I can say.
I'm glad Alpha Gaming is like second. They usually have a really slow start.
Set up. We send over towards the eastern side of the map. Falcons in their beloved.
I should have chosen Alter Ego.
Rozok being held by Regnum Kaya, as Maxman was talking about earlier on. Now, was a lot of indecision coming through from Regnum Kaya when it comes to Rozok. Teams often finding a better position in Rozok when the circle heads that way. Not sure whether to hold inside or send out. I think that they got hit with a little bit of an unlucky stick a few teams on that one. A few times
Let's
on
see,
that one.
let's see.
There certainly can be improvements. We'll wait and see. Keep your eyes on the wheel, the windscreen, please. Instead of just on the map, so if you're driving, get direction from your teammates, possibly.
Yeah, don't dent the Dacia. Keep it clean, Black. Paintwork on that. It's a nice cool blue. Matches the logo.
Yeah, she works out very well. But everyone in this one all rotating together here for Thundertorms, sending down towards Milta.
Thank you, Purna. Welcome to the stream.
Right now, so Thunderdogs can play that one out. Alter Ego sending far over towards the Povka right now, which is very much out of the way, but on this kind of circle, it's completely fair. You don't want to send your entire team.
Oh man, looking at the situation, I feel like Arena, Team Secret, YG definitely will have a conflict over to. I mean, like they're all south part of Jorgopol.
Curious as well.
So it's going to
Position
happen.
10, Falcons tied points with Weibo and both Fire Flux as well. How they're going to be looking. Obviously, we saw in their Sanhok Game Strike survival stage, it was far slower pace. It worked for them there. It's going to be a bit different here. Teams that are going to look to try and take the 5T, you're not going to get as many freebies. When they crashed into Nongshing Red Force, that's where it all went wrong. Hopefully they can avoid a similar outcome here. Forward scout on Ralph, farther up ahead. It's Regnum Karia, Fireflux, and Power that are relatively close by.
Fireflux, where are they exactly? Oh, so they're already in the middle, and they're close to Regnum Karia, Alter Ego Eras, dropped around prison area. Fireflux also pretty close to Power. They're all in the middle. Same thing for NS Red Force, even Team Falcons and DRX. I think DRX dropped around Pachinki area, which is pretty close to where Falcons is, or Team Falcons. For Thrives is just over to the West Bridge, you know, that connects the main peninsula to military base, and I feel like they're gonna gun down, or at least they have a plan to eliminate APG the moment that they step into, or like they go back to the main island here.
I love the cinematic take on this. He said the gondola.
It's not intense. It's in a gondola.
Not as good as the horse, you know. I think horse, gondola.
Why is this batch of teams exciting to watch? Because we all know that they're juggernauts, you know. Once a team picks up their momentum, once they have the rhythm down, I think they are going to be unstoppable. So I think we just have to wait which of these teams are gonna build their momentum first. And so far, Alter Ego Eras was able to set up like a huge gap compared to the second second placer team in the overall ranking.
They kept it developing, and again, I think there's so much talent for this squad.
What's really exciting is there's so much Asian teams. We said goodbye to most of the Americas, I guess.
This is not a good year for the
Brazilians are gone.
The Brazilians, I guess. Again, you know, Alpha 7, nobody even, like, I feel like everyone is still in denial, because Alpha 7 is the defending champion, and nobody was kind of expecting they will get eliminated, you know, not proceed to the grand finals. And also that drama that happened between them and Horror Esports. So, but just like what I said a while ago, you know, it shows great character and also like courage from the side of Revo of Alpha 7, apologizing to Horror Esports. I think that is something that we should commend.
It's a weird one. I think, honestly, for Alpha 7, they claimed the name earlier, right? For Alpha Gaming, that felt more like BM, in my opinion.
What, they have the chance to do the funniest thing.
Oh, it's Alpha Gaming. They've won the second. Wait a minute.
Oh, the back-to-back. Oh, no, hang on. It's a different team.
A different one. Yeah. That would confuse the social media managers.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you that now.
That'd throw you off guard.
Yeah.
Roll the Alpha set.
Just joking.
Pull the fast one on you.
Let's not twist the knife too much.
No more BM. Okay.
They've just come off a pretty saddening defeat. But yeah, we are here live from Riyadh. We have a thumping, roaring crowd, which is great to see from all instances over the world, which is really sweet as well. Everyone coming out to support their team of choice. But it's been a slow game so far, with just a lot of rotating happening. I think we've lost 0 players. All teams still up and kicking as we head over towards Farmway. Most teams just looking for a more central position on the map. We are moving.
Everyone's just respecting everyone, giving them space. Nothing's happening. It's been 7 minutes.
Teams putting a lot more stock here towards the center, which will change as time goes on, as more and more spots open up around the edge of the map.
Here we go.
You'll see
Power
teams
in
getting a lot of
NS.
success off the back of that, and it's crazy they're coming into playoffs, and that is sort of the change we're going to see probably day 2, day 3 if this thing continues, and it really depends which team's going to be.
You know what? I'm not sure. I think it's a total of 3 days for the grand finals, Bobby. Welcome to the stream, by the way.
Very well, Alter Ego.
Yeah, he's watching from Dubai. I remember him from the comments.
I think it's, again, you know, just sort of hammers home that point of the fact that this team couldn't do it all. They can pass the baton amongst one another. It was very nicely played. Krypton with the setup, even when Rosemary goes down, the way they're building back into the game, walking away with a chicken dinner. And there's a reason, you know, you throw it out there saying, obviously, I think they could take a back-to-back chicken dinner here today. But with the talent they've shown, I think they genuinely could. We'll keep our eye on it, see how it goes over the flow of this one. Nice as well when you brought it up, obviously. Everyone in the crowd, we saw the highlight there, and now Haji's father.
Yeah, I think it's 3 days. 2 over 18. Match 2 over 18. So 6 games each day.
They are in the Elim feed, taking fights to Thunder Talks. You know they're going to be getting loud.
Yeah, Sighting actually does go down straight away to Ragnar, which is a good opener.
I mean, if we're gonna be looking at the situation, I feel like there will be a lot of fights that's going to happen all at the same time, considering their position. I mean, everyone is just, you know, like flocking in the middle here. I mean, the arena, we saw them a while ago. Fireflux even, they're over to the coast side of south coast of the main island. And they're close to 4 thrives.
We are cutting around about 30%, I'd say, out of this map.
Actually, I'm from Nepal, but I live in Dubai. Hi, Khairul Khan. Welcome to the stream, brother.
Team Secret. Another squad that I think, you know, could be described as
I actually have some relatives over, and they came from Dubai as well. Jilde. That's what they taught me a while ago, and it means like come now or something, but I think that's a Pakistani word. Jilde.
Take the fight in the end. Doesn't fight out a few bullets to see if he can get a connection over, but they can still chase on this.
Okay, Alter Ego and Team Secret, I feel like they're gonna have an exchange soon enough. Yangon Galactic is still outside of the zone here, and will be coming from the north side, so...
Ida as well as Fireflux are in front. It's an awkward rotate, I'd say, because Horror does control a lot of the space over towards the northern side, and Alter Ego likely not wanting to pick up that position. Neither are Team Secret. There is potential, though, to just completely back off this angle. Make a very wide wrap over towards the school side and play there. It is out of bounds in terms of where a lot of the high prio locations are, but it gives you a safe approach into the circle. Alva right now, the Hound on the team.
Oh man, it's taking them a while to fight. Okay, everybody's just really passive for stage 1 and stage 2.
Completely different from the Sanhok game. I mean, within 2 minutes, we said goodbye to 4 thrives.
Quick bit of looting. Rosemary in close position there as well. See it established here on the map.
This time it's very calm.
Coming in.
Derex, E-Arena, both in good spots. I like where Mormon's playing. This is a really nice split coming through from E-Arena.
Well, there's a lot of land in the safe zone.
So. On the east side of those fields, which means you can comfortably hold.
I can hear a lot of gunshots though. Okay, here we go. Oh, E-Arena. Oh, they're getting beaten up by RCG.
Oh, nice siege.
Yeah, Magnum Karya.
Yeah.
is cleaning house.
Oh yeah, mop and bucket gameplay. We're going to close
Alpha
down
Gaming
on
is
the
close
arena
by,
and
though.
leave them nothing to fight back with. It's a nice start. Silas on the hunt. Player up on the roof, trying to keep his head down.
There we
Clean
go.
this out, make sure there's no opportunity.
Ooh, lighting up.
Back, walk away with all 4 players still alive once they get the man picked back up there. Ooh, that's not what you want. Butcher maneuvers, but this could be a little bit cheeky. Fireflux going in.
Well, we called it out. There will be a lot of fights that will happen at the same time.
That one on the crash in.
Fireflux, not being able to win this fight is getting pretty rough for them because this was their game plan for a
You
long,
will
long
not
time,
be
is
getting
to get
away.
towards this compound.
That's one way to put the player down.
Only losing 1 player in order, but it's not even a flush there, it's just the knock. That's easily resable. So Fireflux is going to have to go play down by the coastal side, which is an uncomfortable position to be in, because not only...
Oh, Alter Egoers versus Horror Esports.
But it also denies you a lot of information.
Ooh, Sky's down.
Alter Ego have been taking their time. Alpha was able to spot out 1 player. They will find the pickoff onto him. Sky goes down, and now more space can be gained from Alter Ego, playing on that edge and sweeping.
Alpha charges further forward. Line of sight blocked from the smoke wall that's been deployed from the remaining members of Aura. Alpha's going to be looking for this one on target with the nade. Meanwhile, Rosemary confirming, being able to get that final shot off back towards Sleepy. An exchange of shrapnel. No fear, at least with a little bit of cover to play with. Slightly harder to get those nades in with the smoke shrouding it as well, but he bails now with his teammate falling further back to provide cover.
Yeah, you got to keep backing this one off now. It's a nice bit of high ground that you can use to scout into the future of the game. Curious to see how Alter Ego want to play this one out, because it is a bit of a wall in front of them. Ida's playing a nice angle and a nice setup here where they are darted across the road, allowing them to get a lot of information going in towards the future, take a couple of pot shots here and there. So yeah, definitely curious how Alter Ego want to play this out. I mean, they have just been taking names slowly but surely. Team Secret weren't able to step to them. They made an instant decision to rotate back off, and just trusting in Alva's calls as well, which is very nice to see. I do want to quickly go back to Regnum Kaya though, because despite that being an immediate rotate, Mormon having control over towards the building, that was a very nice take coming through from Regnum Kaya, and that might have just bumped their point scoring up by a fair bit. There is a slight issue with that compound where some of the angles are cut off to you. You don't have all the information in the world, but this is the sort of position that's going to keep you safe for a long, long time.
I think from a few of the games we've seen from Regnum Kaya as well early on in the day, it feels like sometimes they pull those punches.
I feel like we're not seeing much of the action. There's so much gunshots we're not seeing. What's happening?
Yeah.
Just need to keep that consistency. Blank confidence good though.
Even that survival stage, when Regnum Kaya went for some strong central positions, they are very, very proactive. Even those spots where it felt like they didn't really have
Alpha
position to play.
Gaming.
These are drive-by nades as well. A huge amount of damage going through up towards Alpha Gaming. I'm surprised not even a single knock there. I think if they even found one more nade towards that position, it would have been an easy cleanup for them and an easier decision to roll out, cutting out a big threat on the north side.
Yeah, they are very lucky they've been able to survive through that.
No one died.
Target nade, like you said, it's impressive. Not a single one of them went
Everyone's
down.
so low, but no one
very
died.
Easily cleaned up with such a
Lucky
sliver of HP
Rick.
between the four of them. They can reset with the supplies they have. We saw a little bit of power showing up in the Elim feed once again as well. So still looking to find opportunities to build, but the nade back over. Easy knockdown because of it. This is Thunder Talks. It's the last man in Zing.
Still sweeping over the top side, gets a little bit of information, but Fahiden wants to take more shots and will finish it off there. Power eliminating Thunder Talks. It's pointing to me as well though, where for Shinga is just a case of, it's close for Easy. Probably didn't even know he was in the shack, but just assumed that Easy's in one of these shacks in this game. I have to nade every single shack available because this guy's a backstabber and a half.
Oh, hang on a minute. You might have just said the word. It's operative here, Blank. The roll in from Alter Ego from the top side, finding that shot down range onto Alpha Gaming. They've been in that same position. It's a full confirmation from Rosemary. Quick pick-me-up play as well from Krypton.
Oh, there it is again. I mean, I'd like to see more DVS, but to be fair, he's one of the most skillful players is Sook with that explosive arrow, and it's something new, it's something different. And he finds success out of it. Like we said, it doesn't always pop up too often in the Elim feed, but the amount of space that Weibo gains off of Sook, wielding the bow and letting loose some absolute ringers.
Is the bow and arrow in the meta now? Did you see that?
Not exactly sure. I think it's still shotguns, you know. Like if I were to choose whether you know, the exploding arrow or the shotgun, I think
of PUBG Mobile.
A DBS or an S12K would still be most effective compared to that. I don't know. 600 damage output now for Rosemary. So, I mean, it wasn't a very good game for Thrives, you know, in Sanhok, so I feel like they're gonna really step it up this time. And right now they're coming after Falcons and Great Spray, you know, for T24.
Playing on the west and DRX down towards that mass of compounds on that south side. None is direct central, but they all have very, very good use cases into the future. In the meantime,
Falak's pushing alone.
The Falcons right on the edge, and
this is how he plays usually. Off angle na si Aiki.
Trying to get Narvalo back up on his feet, but the nades continue to rain through. This is
Uh-oh.
Redox misses.
Oh no. Falak's down. Falak's down. No.
No. I think they're still good. Oh, Ike is down as well.
Oh no, Ike is down.
but the Lanimal put back in his place, and Redox stays alive. Off the knock onto IQ, can push further forward, but it is a rough start for Falcons.
Yeah, slashing swipe coming through here. In the meantime, Alter Ego
Come on, Noki.
had
Come
one
on.
player knocked, but they are currently taking
Come
Yangon
on.
to task over towards Potato Hill as the circle move far towards that north side and becomes even more of a prime position.
Ooh!
Nade out. Redox certainly proved himself there, getting the
Let's go.
single nade across.
Whoa.
Naki saves the day. Naki saves the day.
Let's
Fourth
go.
Rise is still alive. But that's my pick. That's my pick.
Let's go, Fourth Rise.
Let's
Let's
Aura
go.
is getting some damage as well.
Let's go.
Artiflux out. Weibo getting some points.
Four Thrives take the fight straight to you. Yes, they lose one player, but they can reset from it. Bit of Weibo action going on again here.
Let's
as
go,
well.
Fourth Rise.
Artiflux having a real struggle start going into playoffs already.
Highland win.
The equation. Alter Ego continue unloading the mortar strike. Nade after nade on top.
This has been an extremely extended fight. I think we've seen knocks coming through across the board, but Ida starts to get involved now over towards Alter Ego. I think they just lost one. Krypton is down. Now Albert needs to pull out something special. Yangon Galacticos down to just the two players knocked for them.
Alva belly crawling, using the grass and the ridge side to provide him some additional cover. Quick jump spot, seeing if he can get visual contact over the edge, over the smoke.
Naki is definitely lucky as well. Yeah, agree with you.
Into this one.
Just need to pick Krypton back up again. Technically, he is in cover. So Alpha will head back down there, but a full 3v3 and plenty of nades.
Nicely done by Say Cloud.
Descends over the top, and it won't be a lot of damage
man.
to take Krypton out, and it will be a knockover towards Alva. And despite a massive spree coming through in this game from Alter Ego over towards Yangon Galacticos, it is the Galactic comeback coming through on the north side of the map. Very surprising that Yangon comes out of this one with the 3 players.
That's the go pistol to push up for them as well. And similarly for Moana, it's time to bail. That fight has gone no way near how they wanted it to go down. Trapped as well as he gets the overall lay of the land with the squads that are close by. He's just got to get his head down, tuck into position. It's Ida from the sideline that takes shots.
Whoa!
Alpha with the nades, rolls it on top. And it is a strike from Reefus.
That was a great shot, you know, for APG.
And like a dead leaf falling, that will be the final player from Alter Ego out. Incredible stuff there. You don't see those ones every day.
No back-to-back chicken dinners to start us off. Another team will walk away with a big W on this one as the battle continues. Nice distance.
This is such a vulnerable spot, you know, for Alpha Gaming.
One nade.
And,
Good
location on the map, man.
Could
yeah,
do
could
it
eliminate
for-
them all.
Very good from this spot, but we moved away from a lot of the more prominent compounds on the map. Regnum Kaya looking just to finish off those players down on that south side. And Power still running through with 3 players as well, so they're not down and out yet. Noxian Red Force should be able to hold out strong on the south side though, having very, very good buildings to work with going forward. Nades over the top, they do. A little bit of damage coming through from Regnum Kaya over towards DRX, who are now opting to see if they can just swipe right.
Ooh, Korea versus Korea. NS versus DRX.
Oh, another on-point nade from Say Cloud, shutting down another player for APG. And not exactly sure how APG's gonna survive this one, considering their position. I mean, they're at the foot of the hill, and Yangon Galacticos is capitalizing on that one. I mean, as they need to, obviously. And they're doing it great.
Al-Haji finding Yumbin as well on the back lines there. Very, very
DRX is being attacked by 2 teams. Power and NS Force.
One building available for Regnum Guy to be playing out on the very edge of the circle. I'd be excited to see a Yangon podium finish here just because of how hard they have to fight for their lives.
Road rage.
Ooh, one more.
From Power, they really clammed hammered to try and steal away some points from that one. Damage is good onto DRX, but they both go down because of it, resulting in a bit of a stalemate from the crash in, only leaving one representative of Power left. It was Weibo that were able to cause issues behind that smoke wall, and then of course Regnum Kario, the compound high ground position as well, the nice split. Silas set up further ahead. Yeah, this is going to get more and more intense. Secret catching vision.
This is the nice thing about Regnum Kario as well, is that we mentioned it beforehand, where they're a proactive team. They don't allow themselves to be caught up in the moment and just sit around, feet up, watching telly inside these compounds. They are very much active on the outside there. They took shots over towards Alpha Gaming. They cut out over towards that south side. It's not a crazy amount of points they're able to find this game in terms of elims, just the 3, but they've confirmed a strong spot on that southwest side. Weibo are in front of them, as you've mentioned. I'd like to see how they're going to handle this into the future, because it's some weird terrain that they'll have to push through.
For Yangon, it could be uncomfortable if Secret can actually get the angle to arc those nades over, roll it down the hillside. Spacing could be problematic. That's what you were talking about, of course. Obviously for Weibo, just a few steps ahead, just tucked in. A little bit of cover to work with. At least you've got the detonated vehicles, and it's actually Fahiden that was the last man left for Powder. So he's just over by the tree line there.
It's very, this is why I'm saying, ooh, wow, what a shot coming through for Fahiden. A fair chance as well, and he took it immediately. This is what I mean for Regnum Kai. It's very hard because you want to take shots down towards Weibo Gaming, but as soon as you leave this compound, you're in sight lines of Ida going forwards. That next circle doesn't cut Ida out either, so now Regnum Kai has to go for something very quick. They know the exact location of Alpha Gaming though. At this point, sort of does feel like you're going to need a crash here for Regnum Kai. Over towards that north side. I don't think it's going to be effective at all trying to wrap out over towards the east. Key down though. Maybe there's a chance on towards these two players. Play behind the car cover, but then what chances do you have later into the game? That's the real issue. So it looks like they are going to roll out over towards this north side, as I was mentioning.
And as we've seen, Ida have been able to do so much from this position.
Okay, here we go.
Oh! Yeah, this is go time for
Perfect timing from IDA, shutting down at least one from the side of NS Red Force. So
Aaron priming another one as well. It's Doc C. He saw him. What's going on? Goes back in for a second look. Finally shuts down Rita.
That was crazy. Silas moving up top there. We'll find Silas. We'll finish him off there as well. I mean, Regnum Kaya just spent all the way over towards Yangon Galacticos, and they were doing damage, but they're out now.
No.
You knew about Alpha for so long. The minute an opportunity was presented from the commotion thrown between this fight on your screens, they go for it, but Alpha just absolutely upset. Goodbye Regnum Karia. It's now not a bad position for them to build from.
Not at all. I think Alpha Gaming played a bit of a blinder on that one, but blinding Powder over to Regnum Kaya, it would seem. Doc C moves up over towards Ida, finding Darkin, more DBS shot through the window, not quite connecting just yet. There's a Molotov set through. Murnat will finish off top on an explosion on the vehicle. They are just trying to hold on as much as possible here, and once again, it is Yangon Galacticos to make it through. This team is bulletproof.
You got Team Secret as well, playing that classic slow build, playing from distance, looking to third party onto this one. This elongated bout between Nonshin and Ida. Aaron dodged the explosives, but he can't dodge the slugs.
Doc C so good.
Doc C, the DBS finally able to finish him off, but at what cost? One player left, just him.
Gives me Yangon Galacticos as well, as Team Secret have some very favorable positions going in towards the future. They can effectively sort of ignore one another and rather take shots down towards that south side at teams that will be making their way up this hillside. I think it's going to be tough. Here's Suk with the bow in hand, just sending shots in, making life extremely difficult for Doc C. He is on the low ground though, and Suk may be just sending in ammo for no reason.
I mean, with 20 arrows left, he could zone you for quite some time. Just make it impossible to go for a peek out.
He's got to leave at some point as well, it's the thing.
Oh, they're getting close.
Just consistent bombardment.
this is going to be difficult, you know, for Doc C to escape this. I mean, there's plenty of teams surrounding him at the moment, and everyone's just really trying to flush him out. Oh, but what a counter, though. What a counter. Oh. Still, you know, Doxy has an outstanding performance still. He was able to defend himself well. I mean, was able to shut down stuff from that distance, and that was just great. Down to 3 teams we go. APG down to 1. Oh man, Yangon Galacticus right now is something else.
One-on-one combat. Yeah, you know to prioritize first. Don't poke the hornet's nest until it's time to engage. Frankie with the move up. Wow. Damage back over. Slapping him there. Forcing him into a bit of a rough spot. 3 squads going head-to-head, of course. And Alpha Gaming only have the 1 man left alive. That's Reefus that's further down.
This will be the second game in a row that Alpha Gaming have been able to get themselves a podium finish with a solo player towards these end circles. He's going to make a break for it. Murnat definitely saw him, was wondering why he went for that play. I don't think he had much choice in that situation. Murnat had actually pushed off that position as well. It's just unlucky he comes out at that timing. Trang will go down.
Shots back and forth, trades on either side. Intensity building, Saycloud looking for the angle. Murnat from further back, able to assist. They can focus fire on Frankie. He's removed, cauterize it and reset. 2 players alive, focusing on the pickup as well. Grab Romeo.
I mean, just make it as hard as possible. A 3v1.
Ooh, there you go.
Should be able to get himself out of this one with Yangon Galacticos starting to move up, and the map is enveloped by space as they suffocate out the rest of the teams from
Good
the
job.
high ground.
Good game.
A big chicken dinner, not only against some of the hardest spots in the lobby like Alter Ego, but Regnum Kaya, who sent their way up there earlier, who did get backstabbed by Alpha Gaming, but what can you say about that one? They knew where they were. There were some weird plays this game, but it was terrifying terrain to play around with.
You see the celebration and elation from the team as well. Some nice solid slaps of the hands.
You know, based from their facial expressions, just I feel like everyone's just really feeling that pressure.
Yeah, yeah. There's no room for error. Like anyone can win. There's a lot at stake, you know. Prize pool alone is crazy. True.
Crazy scenes here, Blank, but the action keeps on going. Join us for more in a couple minutes' time.
Hiya. Namaste, Sange. Sange? Is it Sange or Sange? Namaste. Welcome to the stream.
I feel like...
nothing.
Yeah. What? Nothing. What?
Still waiting for something really big to happen, though. I mean, like it's a slow build up for the first 2 matches.
Yeah, it's really slow. The second match, like everyone did not engage until they really had to, until the zone kind of flopped them together in the middle.
Oh, Razulama, hi! New subscriber from Nepal. You were famous in Nepal after horror raid clips. Oh yeah, thank you so much again. You know, that is something that I will always cherish, you know. But thank you so much for following me, subscribing to my YouTube channel. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But anyway, thinking of getting me food or something. So again, just give me a few minutes. I will be back in a short while.
Not really sure about that.
Are we live?
Yep.
Bago yung audio output ko. Hello? Hello?
Hello? Yeah? Can you hear me?
Live ba?
Yeah?
Yeah.
You wanna go offline? You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Next match, who's your prediction for next match? No? No prediction? No prediction? You have to do a prediction per game so it's not boring. And if someone gets it right, the other one has to do a TikTok. Namaste, Zarox.
Are we live?
Yeah, we are. Can't you hear me? Andy?
There were very little teams going up in that northern position. We did
Oh.
Trigo eventually try and clash on Potato Hill itself, but the nade from Say Cloud in particular were key to claim all of Potato Hill for themselves and take the win.
Yeah, we have to get predictions. So every game, if someone gets it right, there's a consequence for the loser. Okay? You good with that?
We already have the predictions. We already have the
No,
predictions.
no, just for per game. A per game thing. Just to make it fun.
I think they were waiting in Potato Hill. You were saying during that break too. While we were watching the game, they just waited for so long.
That's the scary thing about
You G with that?
right? Like
No.
you can have multiple teams exist up there, and them also have very decent defensive positions as well. So for Yangon, they took that fight
Hello?
against Alter Ego, who was going to
Yeah,
be a huge
okay,
threat.
I'll go for
and
it.
then Team Secret moves in later on here, Max.
I mean, actually looking at Team Secret, they also had a really good match this time around. 11 points on the board. Again, a normally pretty silent team, but they were going quite aggressive here versus Yangon Galacticos, trying to push uphill, Potato Hill, claim all of the northeastern edge, and also keeping teams down low, such as Weibo, away from the fight. So actually, Team Secret, they showed me a little bit more than what we saw back in the group stage, which sets up a very good precedent here for the finals.
Yeah, for Team Secret, I would have actually loved them to commit to that fight against Yangon Galacticos, even though they were being able to control in Potato Hill.
It's pretty weird because I'm looking at my live stream and I'm not sure.
I'm scared that if they take the fight onto Yangon Galacticos a little bit
You're not seeing your live stream?
can just full send it and third party that fight
Yeah, I'm
and
just
wrap up the
checking.
chicken dinner. I do get why they were delaying it, but the more you delay it, the bigger advantage you're giving to Yangon.
Or
and
I
then you just
think
cannot
it's
win that
my
fight
phone
anymore.
just really
That says whilst we took a look at the points, Alpha
not working
once again being
anymore.
able to get into some of the later stages of this match here, 7.
It came down to what they were able to do with the 4 vehicles. They had 4 vehicles being able to just create a big barrier. And on top of that, for this team, they kept getting blessed by the circle. They really didn't have to do much. They were able to just hold off a lot of people. And that's the scariest thing with this team. We know they have the fragging power. We know if they set themselves in a position where they actually have the full squad, they're going to be super scary. And they were able to showcase it perfectly in that scenario.
Yeah, I mean, if they're able to survive a little bit more like that every single match, that one big chicken dinner could set them apart from the rest of the lobby.
It's Yangon wall to wall for our match report here. Not too much surprise considering the space that they were able to control. Say Cloud, as you were mentioning before, Max, looking fantastic in this game.
Yeah, I mean, almost 1.4k damage right there. He is very high in that one Erangel.
I didn't make a noise.
Yeah, do the noise.
Wow! There you go.
I missed that.
I mean,
actually,
it's been actually
worth it.
over a year since I've been able to make a noise. So there you go.
it's been so long.
I know.
Next is going to be a jingle. We got to figure out a jingle.
I'll figure out jingle. Don't you worry. I don't know who for.
I thought it was going to be able to spot him, man.
That would have been insane.
Look, we're seeing some replays actually of the Car 4 here from Alpha Gaming, and we don't have Hovercraft. We've got Hovercraft at home. It's just a 4-man, the 4-car fortress created on the edge of Potato Hill, and it was really good to get them in that podium finish at the end. So Noxian Red Force, I think that was a team that you and me both wanted to talk about here, actually, 7. Their breach onto Ida's Harry Potter Tower, I like the idea going for the breach, but it took so long to wrap up that fight. Big third parties from Weibo in particular did come through at the end.
That's the thing right there. I was talking about this too.
Yeah, now Shim Red First is showing up, and that's good because I predicted for them.
Just tends to play so slow that they might not be used to just
Yeah, I'm
making
gonna
those
step
quick
in up
pushes,
as
and I
well.
felt like
I mean, you can't really say anything just yet. It's going to be 3 days for the grand finals, so I think, you know, like, everyone is just starting to pick up on their rhythm. So I feel like we will see other teams dominate, you know, for the remaining matches. But I feel like there will be a team that could get probably two chicken dinners for tonight, and we just have to
also thinking about
Wait
where
for
they
it.
were going to transition and how they were going to transition, Max. It's just, it gets dicey trying to go up to the Wizard Tower, trying to do something there and keep
Let's
yourself
see
going
if
on the
someone
next
else
You cannot
steps
say that
up.
Longstream don't know the terrain. They know in that
absolutely.
specific circle, that compound with the 3 buildings is just exceptionally strong and able to defend it quite well until the very end of the game. Then they do have to go onto the Harry Potter Tower. Though if we go on teams that try and crash on those positions, I kind of want to pivot the conversation over to power.
Sure.
I think we're very indecisive. There are 2 options. Maybe you fight Regnum Karya, maybe you fight the side of Nongshim Red Force. They decide to send it in the center between those 2 teams, and unfortunately because of that, they just don't survive at all in the later stage. I think at that point, you pick a compound, you breach it, and you just hope for the best.
There is, of course, Al-Hajj's dad as Power, as you mentioned in. It was kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation, Seven, right? Like, even if they choose another option that isn't that kind of road through the middle of those compounds, it's still going to be very difficult to make those crashes happen, but maybe it could have yielded more points.
It is. I feel like they would have just gone for the crash. At least you're not going to have so many teams looking at you. You're not going to be letting yourself open for so many third parties for this team. And the only thing is, like, we're able to kind of say this in hindsight, right? We're seeing everything that's going on. But for them, if they would have been able to make that crash with the firepower that they've been able to showcase in the previous stage, in survival stage, I feel like they might have been able to edge them out.
Look, it's all you go for a compound crash, or you're in between Regnum Karya, Nongshim Red Force, and Sook, where the explosive bow is going to keep you at bay. I would take my chances on a compound crash.
I have a bone to pick with Sook and the explosive bow, because you and I have been talking about this for the longest time. I really enjoy it. But one thing that Sook needs to be able to do is make sure that he
But this is not the same Regnum Karya
and I
that,
feel like
you
that's
know,
exactly
we've
what was
witnessed
happening
before.
there in that scenario. It was just super tunnel vision, and then whenever he actually decided to go away from the explosive bow, he lost the focus, and the Nongshim Red Force guy was able to knock him.
Yeah, there was only so much you can do with that explosive bow, right? Like, he was just saying, okay, I don't know exactly where you are at that Wizard Tower, so I'm just going to spam into it. And as you said, that really has your full focus, your full attention, and then you just get knocked from the other side.
Doxy!
Problematic, for sure.
I don't
Yeah,
hate it. That's the thing.
Doxy
I don't
carried
hate
his
it. I
team.
just wish that he wouldn't be so just over-focused on it. And it was good suppression, but the team wasn't able to get angles on the guy because they just had so much
He's really good with a shotgun.
Oh, wait. Is that for today only?
3,000 damage from Al-Hajj. There's no way.
No.
They have this many eliminations?
I mean,
I'm still waiting
on
on
the first
ABG.
right, going into Sanhok.
I'm still waiting on a.
Very low.
Yeah, I think they did well.
We'll have to.
Relatively well. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's always like that. One player remains at the end, like
The game
Rufus.
style that I'm expecting, you know, coming from
Yeah.
a very stacked team.
We want to talk about here.
They always end up with one team lasting until the very end. I want one of their team members lasting until the end. But just, like, always just one.
They weren't indecisive. They actually made a really good call trying
Like
to
last
surround
game, they
Valkyrie
were
with
podium
the
finish
power.
just because of
They
Rufus.
just got a little bit too excited about that fight, a little bit too involved, and they just wanted to rush it, and that caused their demise at the end versus Falcons.
And I feel like from that indecisiveness that we've been talking about during group stages, maybe that's why they became so impatient, because they're trying to change that, and I'm hoping that they don't end up overdoing it.
All right, well, let's get to it then. Let's see if all of these teams can put those learnings into practice for our second Erangel of the day.
Halfway point of the day, game 3 already. Some trials and tribulations for teams that were looking very dominant back in the group stage. Some good head-to-heads and some interesting PUBG Mobile up to this point blank. We've seen the crowd getting excited, rooting for their hometown heroes, seeing who's going to be able to walk away at the top of the standings today.
Is
Intense
it?
action, and
Is
you
my
imagine
voice
a lot
not
more of that
good?
to continue
Okay,
right here,
I'm gonna
right now.
stick close to the mic then.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think
No, it's
we...
just that I'm eating, so I feel like
Overall, I think it's a good point to pick up on there as well. Where
I'm not supposed to
it is just
stay
a
close
case
to the
of
mic
even in
unless we're
tough
doing
scenarios, a
mukbang.
lot of teams know the best areas to play, how they want to
But
move
okay,
out.
so getting back to what I was saying a while ago, I feel like Yangon Galacticos will be putting up a great performance, you know, for day one of the grand finals. I mean, the one of the secret or like best ingredient I can say is really build an early momentum. I mean, after all, it's just like how many games? 18 games in total, so
Definitely.
there's really no time for them to dilly-dally or something.
But what I'm really seeing is like Alpha Gaming is showing up with the podium finishes for 2 games. They're yet to get their own like chicken dinner, but at least they're at the top with Alter Ego and Yangon Galacticos. So a bit of consistency, something we want to see. Like that they're showing us.
Further back, the drive-by nade on the scout, all of them left on what, sub sort of 12 HP, really.
Can you guess who's gonna win the tournament? I honestly don't know, man. But yeah, I guess, we're gonna stick to, the teams that we chose for our prediction and of course dark horses. So, please do follow us on Instagram and YouTube as well. That's where we post our updates, and we've already posted about, teams that we think is really gonna dominate. And as for coach, she went with Four Thrives, being the dark horse in this whole competition, and me, Horror Esports, just because of their massive performances, well, in other tournaments that I've seen them so far. And yeah, I mean, like a lot of teams here, like I can say all the teams here are really gunning for global domination, right? And again, we always say this, that it's not always how you start the game, it's how you finish it. So this is just like the beginning. First two matches, we were just at the third one. So I guess, everyone's still trying to get the rhythm down, so to speak. So I honestly don't know how day one is going to turn out, how this day is going to play out for everyone.
Obviously coming off from a big high from that last game. Let's see if that momentum does bleed through. Power Esports.
So I feel like for this round,
from last game.
Seen some good signs from Power as well.
Let's
individually, I think the
see.
gun skill's certainly there today, playing to their strengths. Not in a bad spot whatsoever. Tied at the minute. Ooh. This is back over towards our drop fight that we were mentioning, of course. Thunder Talks out with the Tommy. Teaching you lessons from distance. Where art thou, Romeo?
I can't hear you. Your voice is too low.
I get a moment of, if I stop crawling, maybe I'll miss the shots. Maybe I need to fake him out a little bit. Instead, just made it extremely easy to line up that shot. Still impressive with the Tommy as well to hit at that distance. Origo aren't done yet either as they pick up an initial knock over towards Fireflux, which is one of their most difficult rotation contenders, right? Where Origo need to come out from the Povka. I like that they send a player out early in Rosemary, I believe it is, who is a player that you would desperately want in your front line. It's Krypton, in fact, that's sent out first. Who has been stepping
I don't have a read on this,
it's
to
nice
be
to see him
honest.
get an initial knock, and that's going to make that rotation down towards the south much easier playing against the three-man squad. That changes their rotation. It changes their plan on this entire map.
Scary as well for Fireflux as a roster overall, because I think that squad, we were sort of talking about this idea of being able to build your confidence, feed the hot hand, keep that momentum going. They've been hitting dead stops again and again, where it feels like, the floor falls out from underneath them. They're not able to build themselves, not getting too late into these games, and that could come back to haunt them. Oh, you're just bullying on the exit as well. They're literally trying to retreat from this, and you still find a second knock into a full takedown on SayCloud. Wow, that's a bit of a rough start, considering you've just taken your opening chicken dinner.
Yeah, King living up to the name of the weapon used there. Putting a nasty mark over towards Yangon Galacticos with the Scar. There's that shot from, it was Rosemary, it wasn't from seeing things. But yeah, so nice play from Rosemary there. Able to find the initial player coming through.
I feel like Alter Ego errors will get this.
Yangon Galacticos tried to escape. It's no secret that that kind of rotation is not going to go unpunished.
Oh no!
Felt rough to watch that one.
Buffering.
Kind of uncomfortable, really.
In the tree line now, and Xeris is going to send forward. It's a straight shot over towards
Video is lagging on my side.
Yangon Galacticos, after what was an incredible performance last Erangel,
no, the
end up going out in 16th here in our second Erangel of the day. That could have been a moment to put up more points and add a bit of a buffer up towards the top side of the tables. Instead, it's all for naught here.
Okay.
If you're one of these squads as well that are only a few points behind, your eyes are now going to light up. That's a prime opportunity, right, where you're thinking, okay, tied with Alpha, both having 23 points. You get no elims from that, no placements. We can start to lap you. We can start to
oh no, 2v1.
And at the halfway point
there you go.
of day one, only 3 days of intense competition here for playoffs. You have to grab
YG out.
You can't afford to leave it up to another team to decide your fate for you. So this is what we're going to see some of these squads start to reinvigorate themselves, potentially even the team that's on your screens now, right? 4 Thrives. A lot of debate, a lot of talk about this squad, how they're going to be looking. Amazing in the group stage. What plays can they make right here, right now?
Yeah, it has to be a big refresh coming through from 4 Thrives, because these last 2 games have felt hectic. And even now it feels like you could sense the pressure that is on 4 Thrives. They send away from this position. They might have wanted to challenge for it. They realize players are there, so they're going to look for something a bit more open for them. There's no way. Okay, I thought he hit him on the barrel roll. I mean, that's still impressive to get it out there and still make that shot happen. But if he'd hit him on the barrel roll, that would have probably been the play of the year so far. But 4 Thrives, yeah, they're looking for a more open area on the map. They're going to head over towards Airstrip to make that one work. For Alter Ego, though, this is an important game for them, in my opinion. Setting that marker really high early on in the tournament, super important, because with Smash ruling, day 1, day 2 become a bit of a sprint to get towards that top side and at least get as close as possible to first place, or be in first place to open up match point on day 3.
It would be the dream scenario for them. And I think potentially even change the flow of the lobby with the paranoia that will set in when Smash comes to play. But right now, it's Koa that's on screen.
Not sure yet.
Larger bullets goes out on the drive-by. DRX trapped in position here. Bit of chip damage onto 2 players. Trying to take some shots back. Make it uneasy for them to just...
I'm not even sure if we're going to have Smash rule. Is it going to be on the last day? Perhaps it will happen on the last day.
He was snaking it a little bit, but the shot didn't seem too hard to hit, and I think that he was playing so wobbly that it caught even Falcons.
So this is gonna be hard.
Well, they have to send back over towards.
So Circle went down south and got the arena coming from.
They're gonna all jump in the water and rotate across to their
side.
buddy, who is on the
West Bridge,
north
rather.
coast.
Hora.
On the beachhead. Only a couple of teams still yet to make their way in. It's Ida as well as Regnum Kaya.
Through
the upstarts from Turkey versus the Titans.
But
going head to head here in Rozhok, both teams will need to leave soon, as
they are going to be
there's a lot of squads already confirming over
greeted
towards
by Fire and maybe even Thunder Talk.
Late aquatic rotate as well for Alter Ego there, keeping themselves distance on the wrap round the back. And like you say, Regenkar and Ida potentially thrown into a bit of a fist fight where maybe only one of them limps away.
It's a good call, I can say, for the side of Alter Ego Ares.
Body of water
they
removing
just
play
decided
space
to
between
go
these
for the
teams.
boats. Now it's too crowded to
Hora
even
just move across.
like
Should be able to move
travel
across pretty comfortably
via
as well. I don't think this is
land,
too
so
treacherous.
I guess this is a
for
good
them.
call. It's just like
No
getting off
Indiana
the
Jones
boat, that
style
could
kind
be
of
the
traps on that
challenge.
bridge right
But
now.
I
The
guess they're
Scarface
gonna
starts to move
head
up
on
towards the
to
west. This is
Novo.
a
That
real
would be
easy
their main
rotate for
entry
them.
point.
Regnum
So
Ida, though, yet less of
let's see
ease
how
of access, but
how
they
they're
could
gonna
head
play
over
this one out.
towards the coastal side on Erangel main island, swim across, or just send the vehicles in and try and play on that beachhead, which is definitely a possibility, especially as we start to move further north on this circle. Teams could try for that one. DRX had, it's just a surprisingly easy approach. Hardly any clapback coming through from the Falcons.
4 Thrives, 4 Thrives.
Vahiden from a distance,
Having an exchange
able to keep
somewhere.
them pinned at bay.
I
on
guess
their
it was up
rotate
against
over.
Team
Meanwhile,
Secret,
you've
if I'm
seen
not
in the
mistaken.
elim feed
Yeah.
that 4
And
Thrives
Noki,
took the fight straight to
believe,
Team
got at
Secret,
least 2
forced them
points
out of
from that
position,
exchange.
but made it really
Yes.
uncomfortable here. Down to just a solo player, handling them with ease. Confirming onto those knocks as well, one by one. So stealing away a couple of elimination points, which for them could be a good start to get them dialed into the actual action. But from the sideline, that's the final steal onto Team Secret coming out from Thunder Talks.
Yeah, Secret was struggling. Yeah, they really couldn't figure out anywhere to go there. Constantly bumping into teams left, right, and center, and it turns out their over-aggressive push down over towards Yangon Galacticos is the thing to force that final nail in their coffin. Power still hitting some nasty shots over towards Weibo, playing on that coastal side. I mean, that drops Weibo now down to just the 2 players. Don't think they're getting Suk back up again. Al-Haji is going to wait for this fish to resurface.
He knows he's got to come up for air at some point. He can sit pretty and wait to finish that man off. So Power looking to just take away points where possible. he'll just commit to it. Left in the blue, gone for good, down in the deep depths.
Magnum Kai's still in Rondo? Not school now, actually. It's crazy on the indecision where they're happy to send straight out when it's around Rozhok area. But when we get Sosnovka finished,
So
they
Horror made
decide
it
that they're going
to
stick on the north
south
of the
side.
map for a long time. We'll see how
And
they
they're
play this
close to
the
DRX, Fireflux,
play area is
and
getting
even
very
Alter
limited.
Ego areas. But Alter Ego
Especially
areas,
over
just
towards
what we
this north
mentioned a
side
while
of the
ago,
map.
they will be coming from Novo.
Grandma's pretty
They
much
could probably
taken
have
Fireflux,
a conflict up
the
against
small
Thunder
compounds that
Talk.
are available on
Let's
that
see what's going
side.
to happen. Or they
Pretty
could
much gonna be
do a
playing around the
major
tree line,
backstab.
but
I mean,
potentially over
judging by
towards
the
the western
position
side, or
here, they're sitting
using,
close to the edge.
That ridge as cover, as we do confirm.
If
even
Horror
further
Esports
over
will then
towards the
engage with
north here.
Fireflux
I think
or
we're on
even
zone 3
Team
now, so
Thunder Talk,
Circle and the blue
Alter
will
Ego
start to
could maybe
tickle
do a
quite bit
third-party
before
thing.
we head towards stage 4, where it's advisable not to still
But
be
yeah,
in
I mean,
that
Horror
blue for too long.
obviously has this opportunity to
You do wonder if that'll be a bit
gatekeep
of paralysis by analysis
Alter Ego
there for
areas,
Regnum
and maybe
Karia,
even a
taking
couple players from
very
Thunder
slow
Talk. But then
approach this
again, they
one.
will have to play this one
A
out
snail's pace
smoothly
that could
because
come back to
in
bite
front
them
of
in the
them are the
bottom.
boys
We'll
of
see. They're starting to
Fireflux,
get a bit of
so
a move on
could
now,
be
though. So
hard
the remaining
to
squads on the periphery of the
pull
zone
off.
here, slowly advancing further forward. You were fragmented down towards the south side. It was a bit uncomfortable. A bit of a push up now. Alpha Gaming coming over, 4 Thrives in position there as well. Nongshing Red Force feels like they've been really willing to take a good majority of their fights. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sparks starting to fly, especially with this rotate coming in from Ida.
Oh, Nongshim Red Force has a real glint in their eye during these games. An aggressive team, a hunger for team fights. And you're right in the sense that they're a scary team to come up against because you just never know when they're going to pull that trigger. It might just be you that faces the ire of Nongshim Red Force in the end. Falcons find themselves a nice central position on this circle, though. We'll see what they can get done with it. Usually Falcons can find themselves up towards the late game with 4 players. Tend to do quite well. It's that interim period of getting to around about zone 7, which is very shaky on the side of Falcons. There's some big nerves before they lock in.
Taking a little while for some action to really start.
You know, Ragnar here priming the nade. Alley-oop over the top. Oh, the bounce on it. Oh, he's been eating nitro for breakfast. Blows them away.
That is crazy.
Hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, so they
Crazy of a
say.
nade.
Ragnar bagging
The
2
arc on
points in
that
the bag
one as
there.
well.
That was a
Dear
very
me.
good nade. That was a very good nade from Ragnar.
You love to see it. The Power fans are going to have their eyes light up at that one. Already 4 eliminations for the squad, topping the charts at the minute in the lobby. In a good position to keep building, especially with Yangon going out early as well. There's room for Power to ebb and flow their way through the standings. Hora turning their attention back round. That's Moana from Alter Ego that takes a knock.
Alter Ego was always going to struggle. They had to play all the way to the eastern side. A lot of other areas were taken. They dropped the smoke over towards Moana. Rosemary's worried whether this is even worth going for. The res on this starts to back out and allow Rosemary time to crawl back through that smoke. But I think it does feel like a little bit of an abandoned ship here for him. And Sleepy will draw him low and put him back to sleep. Sure what E-Arena's game plan's been here, but they have taken
Yeah, that was too risky if they're
nasty
gonna go for the heal up.
punishment.
Ooh, as for
On that south
E-Arena,
side,
man,
one player even
Joker
going down towards the blue there.
I mean, like,
Get a
Joker is
replay
the
on this
last
one, 'cause
player
this
coming
was
for
disgusting.
E-Arena.
They lined up at the right time, start to turn it, and pretty much as they turn, the nade fumbles through the window.
Very Maxim-esque on the nade. Maxman's going to be loving that one. Thalak getting thrown into the action here as well. It's Alpha Gaming, who are taking some serious damage. So 4 Thrives continuing to attempt to build here. Get themselves into a position where they feel handy with their steal. This was always going to be an issue for Alter Ego as well on the rotate. You had Power ahead of you. They go for the wide berth round, back through the blue, kick off the engagement. It's the third party as well, with Fireflux being able to find damage from the backline. So easy suffering there.
That was unreal. Steps out onto the side C. We'll find one. Rosemary gives his life for the rest of the team to get further into the circle. And Fireflux will take the reins off the back of that fight versus Power. Now down to 3 players, but 5 elims. Not a bad start for them this game. Heading up towards 15 minutes into this one. Soulless attempts to hit the shots, but he's off target.
Yeah,
Oof.
bullets just whizzing by.
Taking
None of them
shots
connecting,
from
and the problem
outside
is
of
that
the
opens an
zone.
opportunity
That
for the
wasn't,
counterplay from Power. So instantly on target, they respond back over and stop what could have been a hell of a scorer there from Fireflux. Instead, in reality, it's just Catch. At least he's got some heavy armor to work with diving inside the hovercraft, but he's got to peace out, got to give up the goose.
Let's leave it alone. That could have been a great third party. It could have been an amazing third party. You're right in terms of the roaming wall in the hovercraft being the biggest boon here for him. Has to wander back and let it explode. This is not the most ideal location for him to end up. There's these shots coming through from earlier. Falak with some fantastic maneuvers. Again, such a precise player. Never over-egging the pudding as well.
Wow,
when it comes to those peaks.
man!
Really, really nice to watch when he's on form.
Yeah, playing the angle perfectly, like you say, it's the peaks. Really nicely played for him. Keeping himself in cover, taking some clean firefights. Ooh, this might be anything but clean. Close quarters engagement. The shot from the side, good for one, but the backstab from Silas at least stops it before it got out of hand.
Nice reflex
If he
being
was
shown
able
by
to find
top,
even more
but
damage there,
unfortunately
suddenly
it's
you're
just really
thinking,
too much
"Ooh,
for
this is
him to
again
handle.
another game where Regnum Kari feel like they should be able to build." And again, actually, it's interesting to see how Regnum Kari are going to play this one out. Obviously, it's a far slower game from them. They're in the forefront of it now. That chase has not stopped at all as well. Power going from target to target, everyone running them down. It's Thunder Talks again now, pushing up. They've got angles, but smoke's down to provide some cover for the quick heals.
Good elim count though so far, 7, highest in the lobby. Fourth Thrive's just 1 elim behind that. Singh's going to move forward over towards Al-Haji, confirmed towards him. Gets caught underneath the wheel, wrapped up in burnt rubber. As Thunder Talks sent back over towards the rest of the team. We get another shift on the circle here. Regnum Kai do need to move out, and you're right, they were laying the brickwork on the south side for a better match here, but it is Nongshim Red Force, Alter Ego.
And it's Red Force and Alter Ego Air is already in the middle here.
It's a very fun circle to
Unfortunately,
end up on.
though, for Alter Ego Air, they're down to just 2 players.
Here.
And it's Red Force just been waiting there. You know, they have not been engaging so far.
Vader with the nades. Just slightly off
So
target.
Thunder Talk and Power,
The problem is
obviously,
you've got a
they're
few
going to have to
establishing
fight.
shots that have
Doc
been
just got
fired in
eliminated.
from the back as well, with Falcons taking a bit of a scout onto it, trying to spread themselves thinner to keep the pressure on. Ragnar with the spot in the vehicle, quick scout, makes his move back so they can play as a duo still and work off one another. Actually gets the drive-by. The bonnet is enough. That's Thunder Talks losing so much from this.
Goodness me, I mean, Power doing that on their own as well versus Thunder Talks is very, very impressive. They had that number for such a long time, but we switched mobiles there and left in the dust. Regnum Kaya look to send up. They're heading over towards Ida once again. It feels like these 2 Turkish teams consistently take tumbles against one another. They're going to send far over towards Alter Ego. Alva as well as Krypton.
Oh, just nipping the back of the heel for Krypton is enough to shut him down. An instant connection from Silas onto Alva as well. It's a good heads-up play. You're saying, look, they were going to cast round towards Ida. Instead, they avoid that cut, center circle, straight path, shut down a big squad there as well, stop them from stealing away points.
And get a fairly decent position. We know how much Regnum Kaya do like their ditches. So, like you say, they do avoid the Turkish tussle over towards the western side and instead confirm on a very, very central position. Regnum Kaya down in 12th place right now. 4 points total with just the 3 elims on this game. They desperately need a big one here if they want to stay in the conversation over towards the top side of the lobby.
This is for He-Down, finally going for He-Down as he gets finished off by Falak
It's
there.
a good
Shots
thing
to the
that,
side.
you know, Horror is a complete
5
squad.
elims for Falak as well. I mean, he is going
They've
off
already
this game.
they were already
It makes sense as
able
well. I
to
mean, he's
bag
always
several
been such a
elimination
strong
points.
player
So
on the
again,
squad.
great
Ragnar
start.
steps up, Falak won't
I
quite
think this
find
is
him, but
their way
8
to make up for the
work with.
first 2 bad
He's
games.
probably going down.
I guess.
Such an easy lineup as well.
only took one, still 7 in the back pocket
Ooh.
for play later. The crowd enjoying that one. So power go down. Vahidan and his brother in arms finished off. Falak certainly showing us what he's made of, and the Falcon still attempting to find opportunities to scramble some points away on this one.
Top 4 are all out, so this is a great opportunity for the teams underneath to equalize now. We're looking at Ida, Weibo, 4 Thrives as well. 8 elims this match, which is phenomenal, by the way. 6 of them on Falak so far, and he looks to push that number up slightly, just a little bit to the left.
Wow, this
He
guy's
just
on
found that
fire.
knock. Look to explode the vehicle
Frenzy.
instead. It's Noki.
Trigger
Moves
happy.
forward,
What
will
else
knock
can
a
we say
grenade of
about
his
this
own,
guy?
sends it
It's just
through,
really
might
another
just be
beast
far
here.
enough, but they turn tail and run, and sprint they'll have to.
You are so low though. Bounce around the tree. Redox on the drop,
Boom!
belly on the ground, but it's not enough for the follow-up. T24 with that one. Navalo is so far
Damn.
away. Couldn't assist for the rest of the squad. He's tucked in for cover, but it's just him now.
This feels like classic 4 Thrives as well. The nade play has been wonderful to watch. 4 players sweeping in from that eastern side, and from fight to fight, they've looked strong. Not really been much response their way
They're
either.
really
Very
playing
much
the game.
a
That's how you
one-sided argument
say.
for 4 Thrives so far. Nade's been sent over now to DRX. This is from Horror, attempting to cut their way in on the northeast side. Regnum Kaya much more concerned right now with the beast lying in wait on the east side, and 4 Thrives.
That's what we wanted to see. 4 Thrives, not just surviving, but like we've said time and time again, absolutely thriving in the lobby, living up to their old tricks, showing us the powerhouse that they could really be. Aura here trapped in commotion versus DRX as well. No fear. He bails out. Quick move. Silas still finding impact in the Elim feed as another squad feels the wrath of Regnum Karia.
With 33Z going down, now we're in a full-on brawl, likely to spark soon between 4 Thrives as well as Regnum Kaya, but it's Horror coming in from that northern edge. T24 immediately passes that information back, and Noki will stand at the forefront as the vanguard versus Horror. IQ playing far back down towards the southeast, trying to gather some information over towards Regnum Kaya. And all the while, Nongshan Red Force has been living it large inside their mansion, almost.
Yeah, living their movie, sitting pretty.
They're already in the middle,
one's contested
so
them.
they have this compound of
Really haven't had to do
themselves,
too
and,
much whatsoever to get closer and closer towards some sweet, sweet high-end placement points on this one. Falak, though, finally comes unstuck. He's been ripping and tearing his way through everyone in this lobby, but now you've got to play medic if you want to
Here we
save
go.
him. IQ
Here we
from
go.
the side,
Here we
hits
go.
back
Here we
on
go.
the Sky, sleeping,
Ooh,
closing the
Sky
gap with the
took a
scouting
hit from
play,
IQ,
bails out the
now he's
vehicle.
down.
Oh, the shots connect as well.
Theo is
4
outside of
Thrives
the
losing
zone
a lot
here.
of their stock on this one now.
Oh, but that did not stop him! That did not stop
They will
him!
find a couple, and Wild will find another knock. Falcons go down to DRX as they try to get involved in this one. But it's Regnum
DRX
Kaya
already
taking
makes
that
the move as
opportunity.
well.
It's a perfect opportunity for them to swing round on that southeast edge. They want to clear as many teams as possible. 4 Thrives move back over towards Horror here. And for Regnum Kaya, that was a lovely trade for them.
Aura going to be dropping the hoorah as the energy's there. You still got to contain yourself. Reset from the angles that are in play. Sleepy and No Fear. They split up. Hyunbin finding impact back over onto Ida as well. And this story continues. DRX decimating onto Ida. And Nongshan Red Force finally. They get thrown a bit of a deathly blow as there'll be a connection back over from Regnum Karia.
Handle them, keep them at bay here, and it has to be done as we get through in towards our next circles. Most teams desperate for this one to move away from Nongshan Red Force, but will it ever? Directly on top of them, and realistically for a lot of our other teams, they're playing for second now. Nongshan Red Force, as aggressive team as they are, will just have to bide their time. They're going to have to sit still and just make sure that blood doesn't thump too hard and they get the signal to send out of the building with the rage that is building.
Getting ants in your pants at a time like this could be the worst outcome for them. You've got to say, I mean, props to Regnum Karia, very proactive heads-up gameplay right now with the fights that they've been willing to take. They started slow, but they have not stopped since they found momentum. Nades being thrown back out as well, trying to get that one on target down towards Aura. And then DRX ushered further forward, slowly advancing, looking to play off one another with cover. Sleepy in the vehicle makes a move. Ida still getting hit by the play zone as well.
Really could not move at all here. Regnum Kai is trying to slow things down, thinking they're looking for that second place here. They know they need to get the placements as well as the elims. It's tough for them. It's difficult. Aaron, the start player coming through from Ida, wanders through onto that western side. Will make a quick sweep before making the pit stop on the northwest side of Nongshim Red Force. Nade just stopped short there of Horror. Regnum Kai has got a different prey on their mind, looking over towards Nongshim Red Force, trying to see if they can find a singular knock before trying to take that task to them.
And his Red Force seems to be defending this compound very well.
Aaron can just keep
Nobody
his
could
nose clean
even
as
get
well.
close.
He's got some hard cover to work
So
with the airdrops
the
that are close
north,
by.
we've
So just
got
tucks himself in
Regnum
position.
Caria dealing
Straight
with
down the
Horror
middle.
at the
Here's
moment.
the push up though from Regnum
We got one
Caria.
player out
Instant
from Horror.
engagement
Oh,
from
Sleepy
Bloxy,
goes down
locks
as well.
on,
Took a lot of
and
damage
Sleepy
coming
is
from
down, out, no fear, barely standing tall as well. So much damage done from the engagement.
It's going to be a long nade, by the way. He's sending here. I don't think it's going to go far enough. I think you're best off holding these nades for the initial push that's going to happen over towards Nongshim Red Force, and that is good resource control there from Regnum Kai. You can see Wild's got 3 nades. I think Silas had 6, but they don't want to expend too many here versus No Fear. They definitely have some that are expendable, but they need them if they want to push over. But it's good to know that there is at least a plan in the mind of Regnum Kai of how they're going to assault this building.
Got Aaron as well, throwing out nades on the push-up from Hyunbin. That's what I was saying. He tucked himself into an angle to actually make it kind of uncomfortable. Ooh, Nongshim Red Force baited into this one potentially, though. Looking for a look over the top of the ridge. Aaron trying to keep himself down. Nades coming in. First's on target. Follow-up's good. Doxy dismantles Ida. They're out of the running
Aaron
now.
out.
There is a slight distraction here. Going through up towards Nongshim Red Force. I think that Regnum Kai is going to try and play this one out for Zone 9, honestly, and hope that this is not central. I don't think it is, and it will force Nongshim Red Force out. But Toshbik sends in first and will manage to get towards the backside here. Nongshim Red Force weren't able to control it, and Nongshim Red Force, they see red. They move out of the building, and Regnum Kai has picked up position.
DRX are dealing damage and handling themselves up close and personal. For Sanhok, it's going wrong. Binny now with a thin veil of smoke to protect himself, but look at all of the nades. Everyone priming these from the top of the roof, dashing them down. They had such a power play position for so damn long, but the minute they advance, DRX makes it uncomfortable. And Binny, you're living on borrowed time. Regnum Caria, if they find this one, they're setting themselves up for a huge chicken dinner.
10 points on the game and plenty more eliminations to be found here for Regnum Kai. Like we said before, they've been holding on to these resources. They knew the angle they'd need to take. Silas goes down, but not before a nade sent through. Sizzy goes out, and it will be Regnum Kai looking for the big finish here versus DRX Jackie.
They just need that final knock. Convert this one, close it down. The slow build-up. Oh, and that's enough. All it takes. The push.
Like we said, that force from them builds quite a bit. The range needs to be
like I said, you know, I think like everyone is still trying to check their rhythm.
But that leg was jiggling, and they wanted to get a move.
Look at him.
Yeah, baited out by the last man from Ida. Aaron just behind the box causes problems against DRX. They swoop in thinking we could just clean up on this one, take it all home, but it was not a spilled drink. They did not clean it easy, and it presented opportunities for this team on your screens to run away with it.
Everybody looks exhausted already, and we're done with only 3 games.
We're going to clean up right now, and we'll take you to a break, in which case we'll come back with the desk.
Oh man, at least Horror is trying. I think they exited the game with at least 4 points, right? So I think it's Yeah, that's a good round. That's a good round. Okay, wait up.
This land is calling.
Pulsar Legionnaire available now. First outfit with special head animations and voice lines. The Pulsar Legionnaire set comes with its own super cute voice lines that can be toggled on or off.
What happened? Bye, friend. Hello, Earth. I'm here.
It also features the upgradable Hyperion ship DSR. And Jet Reaver Glider with special animations. Experience parachuting like never before. That's not all. Even more rewards await. Event period, July 25th, 2025 through August 26th, 2025. What are you waiting for? Get the new Guild set now.
Regnum Carrier capitalizes on the entire nation of South Korea and is able to wrestle away, barely wrestle away, that compound there from Nongshim Red Force to get themselves the victory. Joining me, Neptura, as well as Seven, to talk about this one. Neptura, this raised some questions, but Regnum Carrier looking strong.
They are looking strong. After a confusing start, for me personally, they are looking very, very strong indeed. I'm not sure what was happening in the early game. They were still in Roshawk in phase 2, still in the blue, still out there in phase 3 even, but I actually really liked their wide wrap around, and that really set them off for the rest of the game.
I mean, you got to give credit to Regnum Carrier. Even though they did end up rotating late, I really enjoyed the crashes that they were able to do. This team was just really confident. They were able to crash on 2 players from APG. After that, they made sure that they made Fourth Thrives actually back off, and that's what's ultimately a bit of Fourth Thrives demise there, because they don't want to take over Regnum Carrier. But looking at the overall the match ranking here, DRX still being able to put up some points.
Yeah, very impressive by them on the north side. They were fighting. I think it's fair to say. Let's just instantly address it.
Yes.
Nongshim Red Force.
Great team.
It's 7 points from that here, Seven. It's a bit of a disaster considering what you should have been able to get from this game.
Yeah, you're an evil person.
I'm old now.
You would send it to me too, because man, I was fuming as soon as I saw this team leave the compound after not doing absolutely a damn thing throughout the whole match, saying this is why this team is so passive. You were saying it perfectly too, Cal. You thought that this team was going to end up maybe a little bit scared of getting sandwiched, but even then, just try to use that utility. There was already so many smokes on that compound, and you decide to give that high ground to Regnum.
It's true. I mean, they held onto that compound, for the longest time, and I don't really understand why they had to leave the compound for DRX, and I think that paved the way. That move actually paved the way for Regnum Carrier to get the chicken dinner. Yeah, I think that would be the perfect term. You know, it was a little bit premature. But I mean, the good thing is that, you know, at least for NS Red Force, they were able to accumulate enough placement points. So
yeah, for Random Carrier, it just came down
even
to
if
that
they
aggression that they were showing throughout the
didn't
match.
get as much elimination points,
Maybe sending two, don't send in anybody.
they still okay.
What are you doing?
I mean, we're just looking. I guess we're just looking for like more aggression from all of the teams. From all of everyone's just really calculated on their, which is I understand why, but like it's not the energy right now. It's not really the same thing that we've seen so far during group stages.
Never mind like a potential win or something like that. But anyway, that's by the by. Other teams that we want to focus on as well. Good old Four Thrives, the team that Mr. Seven did pick to do well. Talk to me.
I mean, it was just an amazing play out of this team, being able to rotate early on to the southwest of the military island. After that, they were able to spot that APG had moved on, and I think this is one thing that Max and I were talking about throughout the match. We were expecting APG to actually be in military apartments. They gave that up, and Four Thrives was able to take full advantage of it. You can see exactly why.
Sui, or is it Pensui? Hi, welcome to the stream.
Was doing.
And also the mukbang.
A little bit there towards the end. The team was a bit too split, and Hora ended up just capitalizing on that, but before that, they were just being proactive. They were showing the aggression that we have seen out of this team in group stage.
Yeah, I mean, for example, I really liked Phalanx Nade over onto Power, right? Was it Ragnar, the last player? He actually, with that nade, not only got rid of a team, but he opened up a position for his own team, right? So they were able to push on top of that. So he, even though he does overextend just a little bit, he's doing so much for his team as an entry point.
Well, if you want to extend on that too, this team kept on sweeping. That's what I enjoyed, wanting to gain control. And if we talk about sweeping, one team that was able to do that great was Power.
Yeah, they were looking good. They were looking good for it. But I'm getting word that we are ready to head over to Barney, who is actually with Suk from Weibo after their couple of games here for the grand final.
Welcome back to the main stage where I've got Suk here from Weibo Gaming. We are 3 maps into day 1 of the grand finals and things are starting to heat up already. Suk, the first thing I want to ask you, it's the grand finals. You guys are performing pretty well straight off the bat. I want to ask you how you feel like your games are going so far, what can be improved on and what's going well.
首先就是你们现在已经到了总决赛嘛，然后在总决赛当中，你们今天一开始的时候感觉状态还是挺好的，就是打的成绩也不错。就想问你个人来讲的话，你觉得你今天发挥怎么样呢？哪里有什么要进步的，以及要调整的吗？
还好，只不过我们在世界赛这个舞台好像有一些困难需要去克服，就比如说对手他的一些不按套路出牌，然后他们可能做出一些针对，比如说我们上一把的海岛在机场被 Power 所针对了一下，因为正常情况下他一个 M 层队伍可能会去正常运营，但是他选择来到海边堵我们一个 P 港进圈的路线，所以我们可能在接下来的比赛会去着重往这方面去优化。
Well, it's we have done pretty well so far, but we do feel like you know, this is the grand finals, this is the main stage. We are noticing that some of the other teams are obviously doing or at least strategizing around us. Like for example, in the last map, Erangel, when we landed at the airport, I think P team they were they are a team that usually lands in like an M city or something, and then they actually came over to airport with us, and they kind of targeted us. So we kind of need to adapt around that. We need to make sure that we are more on our toes and be able to counter whatever strategies that our opponents have prepared for us.
You sound like you know what's going on. I think that something I need to mention as well, something that's been really amazing to see here in the Gidea Esports Arena, is how many Chinese fans that we have in the crowd cheering you on. It's been so amazing to see. How does it feel having this kind of national support here at the Esports World Cup? And is there anything you'd like to say to them?
就现在你到这个主舞台上面呢，也有来了很多中国的粉丝到现场来支持你们。你有什么话想跟就是你现在感觉怎么样？有这些粉丝在这边在现场。
Which team are you supporting? Well, there's Alpha 7, there's Alpha Gaming,
I love you.
Team Falcons, and Hora Esports. And whether or not I picked Four Thrives, you know, you guys know I'm supporting them as well. But we you know, Coach Abby and I decided to just like maybe pick 3 teams and then a dark horse. That's it. And if I have a chance to pick everyone, I would.
At the moment here, but let's talk about some of the other teams from these Erangels, of course. Hora They
But
were
Sook
able
is
to
the
put
guy
themselves in
that
a better position, I feel, compared to the previous
was
I
successful
have to agree. I
in
think they actually
like
did a really,
getting a
really
lot of
good job
elimination
not
points
only
through
positioning
the
themselves
explosive
correctly, but
bow.
also
That's why,
being
you
more
know, we've been
aggressive with
talking
these
about like
things, you know. We
that
saw some
actually
really
becoming a
great
meta,
pushes, some
but
really
I
good
don't think
timing,
it's going
some
to
really
happen
good
for
third
here. I
parties,
mean,
and
maybe it's a different
I
stage
want to
when it
think
comes
that
to the
they will
Hong
win
Kong
the game today.
Invitational, but like
That's
for
how I look at it.
EWC, I feel like you have to have another strategy here because I don't think it's going to work.
Separated by 8 points.
Whoa.
This might be the closest first 3 games we have ever had at an international.
Before we even move on, I want you to take a look at Power. Power's all points are just coming in from
Wait a
eliminations. I've never seen that before, especially for a team that's in top 4.
Well, it's consistent.
Hey,
with
I
the
shot.
brand,
Why
right?
did you
Because let's
retract
be
your
real, in
message?
I think it was either group stages or survival. I think it was like 40 elims compared to about 10 or 15 placement points. So we know that they can frag out.
The AC is on, but I feel like it's
Neptura,
super
as we take a
hot.
look through at 9th and 16th. When a team is able to frag out like that, eventually placement points will come. So maybe this is a good omen for Power.
I should hope so. I've really enjoyed how they played so far today. I do agree that I think we are going to see probably a lot more placements coming their way because we've seen it from them before as well, haven't we? Certainly in the survival stage, they were doing a lot in terms of those placement points, really able to control those end zones and getting a win a lot of the time. So it's bound to happen.
The way that they've been aggressive, that's what was impressive to me in that last match. The way that they were able to spread out, they were showing us exactly how they were able to play in survival stage, making sure they had those big splits, get a big area on the zone, and going to Hora, they're pretty much doing the same thing too. They were having 1-2-1 splits that worked out wonders for them, and at the end, took the fight to 4 drives and actually won it until they got third party.
I've been impressed by their glow up from group stage through into survival stage and now here in the final. Let's see if they can continue it as well. But also, we have another opportunity for you guys at home to be involved because starting from August the 1st, that's today, we have the PDP Global Fashion Icon Contest officially kicking off. So, the cool thing about this competition is it accepts both in-game outfit design submissions as well as people participating by showcasing their real-life outfits for you guys to wear at home in real life as well. So use your sense of fashion to influence the world, and the total prize pool can reach up to $120,000. To participate or view detailed rules, please visit the PDP section on the official PUBG mobile website or follow the official social media accounts. Exciting stuff. I think 7, you've got a
Total
great
prize
fashion
pool
sense. You could win.
To 1,000.
Oh,
how much?
All right, well, let's head on over to Barney now, as well as Veracity. They're ready to kick off the half
Wow.
time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Qiddiya Esports Arena, where we are halfway through day 1 of the Grand Finals, and things are really starting to heat up. The spectacle is growing. We've had some amazing performances so far, and it's starting to heat up. Veracity.
It certainly is, Barney. I'm super excited for the first day of our Grand Finals here in the Qiddiya Esports Arena. We've had some fantastic games so far.
We have, haven't we? I'm buzzing. So, map number 1, Power started extremely strong. 6 eliminations on the board, but only 1 player remained, and it was easy, securing a further 3 eliminations, bringing their total to 9. But the final face-off was between Alter Ego Esports and Alter Ego Ares, in fact, let's get it right, and EDA Esports. Alter Ego managing to secure the winner-winner chicken dinner and 23 points on the board.
You know what, though, Barney? In match 2, we saw an incredibly defensive Team Falcons coming on through, which was a far cry from the performance of top 3 placements we saw coming out from the
Whoa!
survival
Look
stage.
at this
However,
stage.
Yangon Galacticos and Team Secret going head-to-head, with Yangon Galacticos walking away victorious in that one with 12 eliminations under their belt. You get up there, Barney?
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually starting to like it. Not bothered.
All right, in which case we'll go ahead and leave you up there. Match 3, however, with Yangon Galacticos having a giant
Is he afraid of
target on their
heights?
back. They were understandably the very first team to get eliminated during that one. It was grenades galore all throughout the match. However, for 4 Thrives and Power Esports, each of those teams had 10 eliminations each. But unfortunately, neither of them were able to make it to the final stages of the match. Instead, however, we saw Regnum Caria walking away with a winner-winner chicken dinner. How about that one?
Veracity, you know that this isn't over. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get ready for map number 4 of day 1 of the Grand Finals.
There it is, map number 4 coming your way, our final Erangel of the day before we head into back
back-to-back Miramars. It's been a lot of fun watching the front ends of the matches, and now it's time to watch the back end and see if some of our teams towards the bottom, who might be on the struggle bus, very early going, however, start to rise up. I'm Taylor Reflections, we're joined by John. And John, I'm excited to get this one started, brother, because last game was nutty. We had, of course, that military end zone. Super sad I wasn't a part of it. I love military zones. Hoping we get one here, but did see a bit of some fumbles. I don't know, maybe some grand final nerves starting to come out.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Nongshim Red Force's decisions were at best questionable in those final moments. They were having a bit of a nightmare in that final scenario.
It's a good thing you have many microphones anyway.
And hiding behind the curtains of their buildings, but in the end, they made that wrong call. They pushed out and Ragnar Kai able to sweep them under the rug. It has been quite a different story in each of our matches. That's what's led to the tables being as they are. It is very, very close towards the top side. There is no clear front runner right now, even if we've got a team at the top of the tables. As much as it's nice to be there, it is not a secure place. So, with another Erangel to play today, we are going to be kicking things off for one more grassy pastures. I can see they've gotten rid of Barney off that stage. His square has descended, and he's allowed back to the green room. He can have a drink of water, get refreshed, because it is about to get messy.
Let's get it going. Game number 4, back to Erangel, and time to see who's ready to perform and who is ready, well, to drop the ball. It's going to be a fun one. Without
Why your country PUBG are not growing? I don't know.
18 points, 9th place, but
not exactly sure.
Place after all with Alter Ego is just at 28.
Maybe less opportunities, I guess.
No alarm bells ringing just yet. Maybe we'll start some tomorrow when we get into game 4, 5, and 6. I do want to see Horta though. Do a lot
I want to
tie
my hair up.
I really think that's a roster that performed very, very well throughout the group stages. Obviously throughout the survival stages. But
it's really hot. I don't know why.
A bit flat. And the same could be said for Team Falcons, who obviously the home team going for that club championship race. That's a roster that needs a top 8 finish right now in 15.
My hair.
Just one spot away from the bottom.
It's not friendly to be down there. Of course, you've got 18 matches left to play. It's a longer set than the 12 we've been used to seeing for each of our teams over the survival stage, over those group stages as well. So a little bit more leeway on these slightly lower than expectations performances. But hopefully they can pick up the pace here in match number 4 on the day, as our top players do slide on past our eyeballs. You can see Al Haji, with the support from his father, of course, having a good time. Circle pops, and we're heading out to the east side of Erangel.
Love this zone. I think it's going to be a bit spicy for the military zone players. Well, they get a little bit of a profit, I think, at least for 2 teams, if I'm not mistaken, who consistently land down over at military. Maybe we throw in a third, but you do have to kind of start thinking ahead of the game, man. At that that eastern bridge might be a bit spicy, but here tonight,
we already have one player out.
And Hora both.
I feel like it came from Fireflux. Oh, Hora!
Hot drop, but on those vehicles, they are going to get contested. At the moment, there is a knock sent over towards Hora, but Fireflux playing on as 3 as they have had a player confirmed down and out. That is not good news to kick things off, especially given where the circle has fallen on this east side.
Yeah, without a doubt. And for Fireflux especially, being all the way at the bottom, I feel they have had some shining moments throughout our tournament, but today, they've fallen very flat, and already losing a player is going to put their backs even further against the wall. Hora looks to be getting their teammate back up into the fight, so that's going to be good news for them. A team, again, that performed very well throughout the previous stage.
Okay, so they're safe. They're safe. They're safe. They're still a full squad.
The distance, luckily for him, he's going to be just fine. Nobody looking to contest. We do have Power and Ragnum Karya relatively close. Now, we did notice one of the interesting things about Power is no placement points, but they're still.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was right. So that was a trade-off that happened between Hora and Fireflux. So Fireflux already lost one of their players.
Correct. The desk was highlighting it as well, of course, with Power not able to get into the placements on any of their 3 matches, but still being in the top 5 is insane. Right, and they are right on the doorstep of potentially doing a little bit more. So if they're able to do, they don't have any contest here, but it has not been a nice sight to see if you're a Falcons fan, and I know there's plenty out there in the arena.
That's right.
And they aren't going to be too happy with them for the time being. 2 points average on the games they've played, that's not good.
But we got to appreciate having Pachinki to yourselves for Falcons. That's plenty of loot they're going to have, especially going into the next zone, which is getting tightly contested. For Falcons, they should have an easy transition in, depending on where DRX chooses to land. And, well, for DRX, they're going to leave one player out and maybe be the scout for the roster. See how that ends up unfolding. For Power's sake, though, they continue to move central zone, where Regnum Kari are currently at. Fireflux and Nogsham Red Force not far behind. Could get a little bit spicy as a lot of vehicles are moving, teams are traveling, and they're starting to lock in those hardcover POIs.
Power Esports drawing up in the garage there. They will be playing all three of them stopping off on the building. They are sending another further on out. So we get a replay. This is that hot drop. Matcap, okay. It was two players with knives. And in the end, Sky was able to tag him for one, and then Sleepy chefed him up. Something awful over in the garage there. Only the pistol to defend, and that's not good news.
Could have been scary. Rosemary opposite of AJ from Thunder Talk.
Oh,
out. That was a great
face off. AJ versus Rosemary. Oh,
on full health, mind you. He could truly do a lot of damage to this Alter Egos roster up ahead.
Thunder Talk bolstering their position as well, with King sidling on forwards. Alter Ego trying to pull Rosemary back to his feet there. And they are going to put a lot of investment into it, but Moana, goes for the nade and flushes his own teammate out. That is not a good start for Alter Ego to try and defend this top spot on the table. And now it's Thunder Talk looking to keep this pace going. All four of them now in situ, and they can play on a numbers advantage. A little bit split for Alter Ego. Alva under a lot of pressure there. The reload needs to come through. Can he connect with the auto shotty?
He stays in the corner. Dodging those jump shots, goes for the retreat, and is successful in getting some distance between them, which means he can reposition and fight the duo of Thunder Talk. That fight still going to be well underway, and he's going to continue to distance himself. Maybe get an off angle onto AJ. It pays off. The down is in, but the two members from Thunder Talk are hot on his heels.
They're still on the outside of the wall, though, and with King falling, this means that nobody is forward for Thunder Talk. They're now trapped on the outside, out in the cold, and Thunder Talk are getting rinsed right now.
Rinsed indeed, but I love that angle from King. Alva play this very, very carefully. Even if Thunder Talk wins this fight, like you said, they are in dire straits, and I really do think that's a huge oversight. This duo should have pushed up on him and taken him down.
Nope, not this fight, not this fight.
To Thunder Talk. Obviously, your duo ends up falling, and now you're leaving. You gain zero value. The timid fights do not work out if you want to be a champion.
I mean, much like the Omnidroid from The Incredibles, right? The only thing tough enough to take down an Alter Ego player in this match is themselves. The only thing that has taken one of them down fully is that team nade. And that's not the sort of coordination that you want to see coming on through, especially in Milta Power on a circle like this. You know, it's so important to have everybody alive in a central location in these early circles, right? You want to transition in towards the late game. They've pushed up towards 30 points, though. And they will be okay for the time being, and playing on a 3. Not the end of the world.
Not the end of the world, but let's see how that game ends up unfolding. Smile barely, just a nick of health, and manages to get away. Team Secret applying the pressure. Yingon Galactica's Team Secret rotating maybe up north, then dropping down south through Naya. Team Secret could get a drop on them if they continue to progress forward, which could be great for playing a gatekeeper role. For now, just trying to heal up and just really recover. For Team Secret, though, unfortunately, I think they're going to lose at least one into blue, if I'm not mistaken. For Barnett, though, he's moving up.
So are the rest of the team. At least several of them are trying to go in pursuit here, hopping out, going for the sprays. Zerus has to divert, send back behind the headland. Is there an off-angle hop out? No. But the blue zone will do a little bit more damage here. We're only at stage 1, so this is very, very survivable on these rotates. It's not really going to do much more to them, and those sims already on the bar there for Zerus mean that he's got to stay very, very healthy here, unless a couple more shots connect, which it doesn't look like they're going to. Sending over the north side of the Yaz Lake. I imagine that Yangon Galacticos are going to divert. Not too keen to go in behind them, but we'll have to wait and see. The plane path, sorry, the next circle just about to come on through.
Yeah, Yangon Galacticos, I thought we're going to take the roadway and then cut through, but Say Cloud has stayed up top. He wants presence behind Team Secret. Meanwhile, the other 3 are in fact going to go in succession. down low, and St. Cloud does deviate away, maybe wanting to stay in Team Secret's mindsets, but getting tightly contested in the southern portion. And E-Arena versus Falcons, a team that's been on the struggle bus, or E-Arena. I love the way that they've been playing. Granted, today, they've been falling flat, so this fight critical for both rosters.
E-Arena disengaged from that one. They had the numbers advantage. Perhaps they were reading too much into the circle. They thought if we can't conclude this fight immediately, there's a third party potential, but they had a massive advantage in that fight. Only 2 of the Falcons were on the inside. I'm not too sure about the decision to disengage it, but we'll see how they can play on from here. Meantime,
why did you retract your message as well?
Up to 1 on the tables, and that's going to put them up on 26.
Well, yeah. I mean, you'd probably see me back on Ruthless, you know, after EWC. I'm pretty sure they're already cooking up another tournament, so stay tuned.
I felt that was a massive
Why? Why did you retract the message? Welcome to the stream, though. So, Rocky, if you're still there, which team are you supporting?
Self-writing, going all the way out west for a wide wrap from Weibo to go out on that west side bridge. APG, they're ahead. Alpha Gaming will send over that east side bridge, fairly uncontested now, and they are sending up north. Yeah, this is just the continuing long rotate from Weibo to go out to all the way on that west side. They're getting across the bridge. They'll be pushing in from around Potato Hill, but don't expect to see them for another 2 minutes.
That's right. We won't see them for a long time. For APG, well, you saw what the game plan was. They were setting up to gatekeep Weibo. So this long rotate, in my opinion, was critical for Weibo. They only had one choice, and that was to take the western side
My
bridge.
keyboard.
APG,
Yeah, what's wrong with your
Weibo
keyboard?
Okay, we move on out
Seem to
to
be
progress towards Milta, maybe towards
sending your
Power.
messages
Meanwhile, though, we
unfinished.
do have Regnum Karia potentially setting up a trap on Hora, who's going to be up just ahead. A team
Man, it's really taking them a lot of time to engage.
I mean, they're sequestered right up into the cliffs over prison. It does severely limit their sight lines here for Regnum.
But again, you know, this is day 1, so I feel like
just gather that info from the sound.
I don't know,
Got that
like
outpost Silas a little bit disparate
they're getting
from
the
them. Will
I guess
rotating around, feeding back a little bit more
all
info.
South
But
Asian
for the time being, they are a
teams.
little bit crunched
Okay.
in here. Hora a little bit less so. They got a little bit more leeway on the side of that prison cliff face. Teams trying to get central. Nobody really getting too aggy with it just now. It's only Thunder Talk who have lost 2 players and a couple of those earlier elims coming on through as well.
See DRX off in the distance. They've got a couple of teams in their line of sights. Like you said, nobody getting aggro just yet. We see a zone shift up towards the north. For the majority of teams, they're already pretty much sequestered where they currently
did they
are.
hear
For
us?
the rosters like Power, APG, Thunder Talk, and Duo, Alter Egos, Weibo finally.
I think they heard
starting
us.
to get their first
No,
member
the
out of
commentators.
blue zone
They
as
just
head
said that
towards
no
North
aggression
Blue
yet.
School. Maybe even towards getting on Galacticus, but everybody rotating in. I'm hearing a lot more shots this time around. No surprise for Falcons. Oh, I'm hoping Regnum Karia does not crash into him, and it looks like they're not going to. Even Silas taking too much damage for his own good.
Yeah, crashing in on that position with the number of third parties available, maybe a death sentence, but instead they turn over towards the dip, and it's 4 Thrives who are eating lead left and right. That is nasty. The team from Pakistan is going to be eliminated very, very quickly.
4 Thrives get melted off the map. You know, a team that dominated throughout group stage, struggling today. We questioned those days off throughout survival stage. Would it be helpful? Would it not? Well, for 4 Thrives, they need to get their legs back underneath them. But Power's also rotating in. Ragnar taking a ton of damage. We got Wild also falling. Ragnar now down. Haji getting active. Ida's gonna fall. It's just a mass amount of teams and bodies on the ground in this area. Haji getting the cleanup, starting up ahead.
It's the massacre.
If placed right, could be devastating to Power.
Darkin unleashes it over towards Fadan. The bounce is good, and it will connect for the knock. El Haji now, the last player alive for Power. They have 4 elims. They'll want a little bit more, and he's now got a nade cooking. They know where Ida is playing, and nobody's getting out of this dip unscathed. The nade goes long, and Darkin pushes forwards. El Haji around the smoke, goes for the spray.
Let's see.
Connects it, but there's the shutdown from the off angle. Fireflux shut everything down,
Oh!
and there is no one alive.
We just lost 3
Long distance shot from Solus of Firefox, man. Bagging 3 points now.
Just a second. Team Secret now against Alter Egos. You called it. Caster Curse, nobody getting aggro. Well, now we got everyone getting aggro all at the same time. Krypton going to pick up Ayala over in the corner, and another team has been lost. We just lost 4 teams in the span of about 45 seconds.
That was insane. 4 teams went into that dip, and none of them got out of it. It was insane.
Wow.
It was being held, I believe, originally by 4 Thrives.
Oh,
Yes,
man.
both Regnum Kaya and Ida crashed in at the same time, and then Power.
It's
clapped
about
in
time,
over the top.
Rocky. You know, we've been playing all 3 matches a bit
Put them in the cooler.
leaning towards the passive side, and this is the most action that we're getting so far. But that was fun. That was fun.
It's such a bummer though for Power because Al-Haji is the last one standing. He's the champion of the team fights, 4 teams in one area, and then Fireflux says, "Hey, good job, buddy. I got you. Take some right down." Either way, like you said, 5 elims. You got to be happy with that for Alter Egos at 5 themselves, and of course another zone shift going to be taking place. But yeah, that was probably one of the craziest fights we've seen today.
Absolutely insane stuff. A hard south shift, and this is going to help out teams like DRX, like Falcons, if they can hold their nerve out in the open. A lot of open ground, right? We saw how difficult it is to approach this Falcons position. When it gets closer and closer on the circle, it gets slightly easier, right? Because there's fewer and fewer positions that sit around them that can take those third-party shots. There's fewer teams that are potentially going to third-party on towards you. So Falcons, their strength is really good right now in terms of position, but that will start to falter when the teams around them start to get involved, start to get dropped. But I'm expecting to see them into this one deep, potentially up to stage 6.
I was looking at this Thunder Talk. We see a replay coming in. This is the Team Secret fight versus Alter Egos, and Xerus is putting in work, but it was Krypton who was able to even up the odds, silence Team Secret, and send them packing to the next game. Weibo, Thunder Talk finally back on your screen, and well, not for long as one is taken down immediately.
PEL derby right now between Weibo and Thunder Talk, but it seems pretty clean, done and dusted. 3 players alive for Weibo and 1 for Thunder Talk. Together they make a full team, but there's no cooperation here. It's Xing sending off into the horizon.
Xing is gone. Thunder Talk's been in survival mode since the early goings of this game. 2 eliminations. You're not too happy with that. Maybe some placement points will help you out. Doc with a great angle. Maybe surprise some members from DRX up ahead if you can get a line of sight on him. Nobody can be seen just yet, but Doc is a guy that's sneaky, and if he sees you, he's taking you down.
Nongshim Red Force, they've got 2 players alive, 1 further back. Let's hope that they can do a little bit better, although with only 2 players right on the edge here, it's going to be difficult. That shelter position can keep them alive for quite a while. Xing takes a couple of shots over towards Seoul, who's actually going to reposition away from this one, but Xing has to push a little bit further in. He's going to go into the wake of APG, so Alpha Gaming going to actually allow this rotate to happen.
He fired a couple of shots, nearly getting it down. The fact that he's still alive is incredible. This is where Doc was, I believe, and actually, excuse me, Doc's going to be on the opposite side. And so this Doc will stay where he's currently at to overlook everybody who's going to be up. You got DRX still up in the distance. So DRX in a pretty precarious spot, if I had to say so, because Nongshim Red Force is over there. They have a presence. And then you also have another one from a distance. Xing narrowly avoiding getting squashed. 33Z hops out. And finally, Thunder Talk will fall. Again, surviving for the longest time. But one by one, they were picked apart until they were finally eliminated.
And in their wake, this rotate will be pursued down by Hora, who are going to move out now to this southeast side. All 4 of their players are alive, and they're looking for a good game here. Having underperformed so far in the first 3 matches, they're going to try and take on some PEL representatives as they are going to try and find that wrap back around. The smoke's keeping them safe, but both of these 2 teams are actually right up and against the blue zone. Hora overextending now, and they are going to fold back in towards themselves, play that east side. They actually lose a player to Krypton over on that north edge, so they can't really afford to place too much pressure on this south side.
Question is, do they? Hora continues to get closer and closer. Krypton may be tempting that he wants to get away. Alva
Which team are you supporting, Hero?
But Krypton will continue to fight, and you know he's a scary player. 4 eliminations already, John, and a guy that can very well take down the entirety of the Hora roster if they're not careful. For Sky, he needs to keep his head on a swivel. He's going to be the one to truly shut down Krypton if he makes an attempt to maybe challenge No Fear and Sleepy up ahead.
Chance there. With 4 elims, Krypton is pumping today. Doing a lot of work for the roster.
What's your prediction for this match?
Do have a disadvantage.
Almost halfway through there, buddy.
Their options fairly
But
limited. I wouldn't be too
I
surprised
don't
to see
know.
them try and
Honestly,
sweep up
I'm
north. With
really
Horror
finding it
pushing
difficult
into
to
the tower,
even
they're
read
gonna be a
like
little bit less mobile,
how
not gonna be as
each of the
easily
matches are gonna
able to
play
go in
out. To be
pursuit, but
honest,
they could equally try and
um,
find Sky, and that looks like maybe what they're gonna try and do here. Wrap back around.
I really
play on
couldn't
the
tell.
backside here, and open up a window of opportunity for themselves. But Weibo Gaming are just over that ridgeline.
It's really a back and forth situation for most of the teams here. But let's see. I'm pretty sure, you know, like Team Falcons, Fireflux, you know, even Horror Esports, I feel like they're really struggling. But that was such a great shot, you know, coming from No Fear, shutting down Alva like that.
So Hora, got to make a decision. Who do we challenge first? Krypton to solo, Weibo up ahead. Do we disengage and maybe go a little bit further into zone? I would not want to be them making that decision.
If I'm Weibo, I'm letting the blue zone handle Krypton, and I think it's a similar call for Hora right now. You just need to negotiate.
Do they know he's
wait
there?
for him to leave. They should know, right? He's taken shots back over towards Hora earlier on in that engagement. So they should know that there's a player down this hill. You don't need to put this much pressure on. This is overexposing potentially to the Horror position. And Order's getting a little bit froggy.
Yeah, he definitely is. He definitely is. No Fears right there. Ready to apex this hill. Krypton to the right. This is going to get spicy indeed. Nade cooking. Krypton going on the attack. Surely No Fear takes down Krypton in this moment, but no, Krypton's going to be free and clear to make this push up. He finally starts to take a little bit of damage, and rightly so. It was No Fear along with Order who takes him down. Order getting the elimination. Now, Weibo can
You know, the thing with Alter Ego errors, even if they don't score a chicken dinner, but I guess when it comes to consistency in bagging items, they're on point.
33Z, who's been scouting, who's been gathering that information. Order, they've been locked into this fight for a
Hello?
while. Looking
Are
at
you
the
there?
rest of the circle, meanwhile, Falcons, they've been chilling in their building for a long, long time now. They have managed to rack up 3 Elim points and actually make that maybe a couple more as the nades land over towards Fireflux. They're going to have to think about getting out of this business, though, for the time being. They are right on the edge of the circle. They'll be safe for now. DRX have been holding out on the southwest for a nice while as well, but Yangon Galacticos going to be putting pressure on. I feel like that's the next crash coming on through, and Cloud's going to send it.
Yeah, absolutely going to be the next fight. Falcons, mind you, also focused on Fireflux over here in the shed. They took a little bit of damage from DRX. In fact, Redox is going to fall once again. Scarface getting some shots. Cloud onto Quiz. You mentioned it, Yangon Galactica starting to push up, but they've also taken some damage, a downed player, so they're going to have to go at it 3 strong. So we have an immense amount of fights. Falcons versus Fireflux, Yangon Galacticus going against DRX, and the winners potentially controlling the entirety of the western portion of zone.
It's going to be really difficult to move as Falcons when Yangon Galacticos or DRX are able to claim this one, but so far nobody is dead on that southwest border. All the teams there have 4 players alive, both of them maintaining the entire roster. Alpha could potentially have an impact here with Top and Ziol on the south side, but I imagine they're going to be thinking more about going east. You can see Top trying to hold face, and around this shelter entrance, it's just nobody making that first move right now, and they can chill out for a little bit longer with the circle.
APG can be truly punishing to DRX. The only thing stopping them from shooting, I believe, are the smokes. They just can't get the line of sight. But Top should have infinite vision. In fact, he's going to get active. So there's going to be Top on one full finish on one DRX member who's now starts to push up. This gives an opportunity for Yangon Galacticus to start firing at DRX as well. Weibo says enough is enough. Takes down an APG member. 33Z also taking a tremendous amount of damage. It comes to show you literally nobody is safe. And Weibo on the outskirts of zone, fully eliminated.
It's in circles like this that you've got to think potentially Fireflux could have a chance if this fight on the southwest side doesn't conclude, but it looks like Yangon have isolated their entrance and will be playing on fairly convincingly. Cloud very likely to get this knock on the Horman. That should be an easy pickup for them behind the rock, sure, but you have to dash out to try and find that res, and with only Joker left standing, they don't have a lot of time to get this one.
Currently, Yangon Galacticus have a beautiful spot where they are at. If the zone favors them on the next shift, they are going to be set up very nicely to control the end game. Of course, depending on what DRX and APG decide to do from their current position.
Yeah, I mean, Rocky, I already gave you an answer a while ago. I just really couldn't tell, to be honest. Like, and I feel like most, if not all, still not showing us, you know, like they're 100% in the battlefield just yet, since this is just day one. But you know, man. Like I said, you know, Alter Ego Eris has always been surprising us since the group stages, you know. They've been pretty amazing, dominant force, and I guess I can say in terms of like being the most consistent right now for day one of the grand finals, I will have to give it to Alter Ego Eris. But anyway, okay, getting back into the action over here. Yangon versus DRX. Horror Esports is doing a third-party situation. Smile shuts down Hyunbin. Narvalo taken down by Joker. Ralph getting some points for himself as well.
And now Falcons have a good foothold on the northern part of the zone. So really, Falcons, Yangon Galacticos in an absolute power spot, you would have to assume, unless the solo from DRX can dismantle piece by piece the Yangon Galacticos roster just up ahead. And let's not forget Scarface, another solo for Fireflux, who's going to be dead center. Falcons get blessed by zone. Yangon Galacticos now have to push up, and so does Hora.
With this zone, it keeps this little hill that you can see in front of Koa inside this zone, and you're right, they are getting blessed. But if Redox keeps going down like this, it's going to get a little bit more tenuous here on the northern side. Redox not happy. Behind the wall for Falcons to flex back out. I don't know if they can commit to this. They'd have to expend a lot of smokes. In the meantime, Yangon Galacticos, they are going to have to make a move.
Yes, they got to push forward, and there's a lot of open space. They've been hanging out next to this cave for the longest time. I don't blame them, but now the time to get active is in, and you got No Fear, who's been doing such a great job from a distance, being detrimental to each and every roster he's come across. So he's going to be the X factor for me for the Horde roster, at least when Yangon Galactica starts to rotate over. For the solo from DRX, I don't know if he's going to be able to survive this. I really don't. But for him, all eyes on YG, who now start to move forward. This is going to answer our question of who takes this game. If Yangon Galacticos get mowed down now by Falcons, it is going to be all Falcons for the victory.
With Ralph moving out to the west side to go for the res onto Redox, they're actually west side bolstered right now on the Falcons roster. So Yangon Galacticos potentially picking the wrong time to go for this one. And with Hora on that side swipe, this road crossing is nigh on untraversable. As Hora actually going to try and backfill on this rotate and play on the south side. This could be a great play coming through from Hora. They'll finally get rid of Scarface, who was on a sliver of HP, and now it seems to be a two-horse race.
If I'm Falcons, I'm paying close attention to Hora starting to move up. Fireflux are now gone. We're getting deep into it. Only 4 more teams remain, and really one of them is inconsequential. It's only a solo from DRX. A mini red zone starting to form. Say Cloud trying to get back onto his feet. Smile desperately needs this. Yangon Galacticos with the desperation push forward gets picked apart. Romeo down, and it's Falcons from Koa taking him out.
A little ridgeline to play around. A couple of vehicles keeping them safe from Hora for the time being. Yangon Galacticos may be able to stay up as 2, but Smile down behind that vehicle. And that crate has been beautiful for No Fear. He's going to try and get a little bit more, though. They're putting pressure onto the Falcons because of the rotate out to the west side to deal with that res, to get Yangon Galacticos out of the mix. Hora taking the timing of this very, very well, and they get that flex out to the side, but Falcons are piecing themselves back together and out over towards Narvalo. Koa finds that retreat.
Can you check your
things simmer down.
No Fear has been the guy, the linchpin for the Horde roster, and now he has totally caught Redox and Ralph off guard. They know where he's at, but he still has such a great advantage. Now this rotate's going to be big, and Koa is going to knock down one. A second is also going to fall. Hora starting to collapse. No Fear needs to get active. A Hail Mary attempt, but is this Falcons? It looks to be the case. No Fear, does he have it in him to clutch this up while he continues to push up? Falcons can hit the shots needed, but they finally do it, and Falcons will get their first win during this, should be the grand final stage.
A big finish for the Falcons. The north side control was great. That first rotation on in to the mansion to play on that location. They held ground, and on the north side, nobody challenged them. I felt like Hora maybe were able to slip the noose there, but in the end, they were hung out to dry, and that is a beautiful way to close it down. A nice chunk of elims as well added on to the Falcons' count. But not only that, Yangon Galacticos, they're pulling down numbers in that final serve.
Without a doubt, and you can also give their flowers over to Hora. Hora needed some points. They were down in 13th place at the start of the game.
Wow.
Getting that second is going to be massive. And while the same thing could be said for Fireflux surviving as long as they did, yes, it's not going to be a tremendous amount, but it's at least a start. It's something. It gives you new life. It's only game number 4. 2 more to go today, and therefore a big chance to rise up the ranks. There it is. Our final Erangel has concluded. Team Falcons on top. 2 Miramars coming your way after the break.
And we're jumping to Miramar after this one. It's still, I don't know. I don't know who's gonna dominate date number 1 here, but it's a good thing, just like what we mentioned a while ago before we started the matches, that, you know, I think it's going to be a diverse first 6 matches here. I mean, in terms of like which team's gonna get the chicken dinner. I think it's going to start shaping up after the matches for today. At least, you know, for the teams, they will have a chance to regroup and to reset, or maybe talk about their strategies. If it's something not working out for them, you know, there's a need for them to recalibrate and just like maybe come up with a much more effective plan, so to speak. And so far, we cannot really say just like how or like which of the 16 teams is really gonna go explosive, at least for day number 1. I mean, for all we know, this could be just like a teaser of some sort. I mean, we still got 2 more days for the grand finals, and again, if we have that smash rule taken in effect for the 3rd day, things are even gonna be more interesting. I mean, smash rule is a game changer.
The highly anticipated addition to the Mummy series outfits is here. Paired with the new Ice Tomb glider, the Polar Spectral Phage set is just what you need to freeze your enemies. Or send them ablaze with the Inferno Fiend set's new upgradable Chain Inferno Uzi. All the Mummy outfits are back. Get them all. Join now and collect the whole series to turn all eyes on the battleground. Event
Yeah,
period,
big
July
shout out
10th
to
through
Lily,
25 through
Sky,
September 2nd,
and
2022.
Prisoner Roshan. Welcome to the stream, guys. You know, I guess for me, the biggest surprise would be Alter Ego Eris, to be honest. They're not even, like, super aggressive just yet. But they're already, you know, like, dominating the first day. The thing is with Alter Ego Eris, I feel like it's so easy for them, you know, like, the way that they move, the way that they handle each situation in the battlefield, without really putting up too much aggression. They're still dominating, so that makes them very scary, I guess.
Falcons flying high for the last Erangel of the day for day number 1 of the grand finals and looking to be one step closer towards that trophy. Joining me, Neptura, as well as Seven, to talk about this game. Neptura, Falcons had a good compound and they were able to play it out nicely in the end.
Finally, it's about time we see something from the Falcons. Dare I say I want to see a little bit more. I wasn't entirely pleased with how that game went, but they got the win. That's what they needed to do. Fair enough, right? I did like how they played some of those things. I want to start off by saying that initial push onto Fireflux rather was.
Hi Arbin, welcome to the stream, my guy.
E-Arena. They did in the end on the circle shift. They were able to take them out completely. That frees up the north side of the zone.
Fireflux needs some points. They are really struggling.
I will say
I feel like a lot of teams are struggling at the moment, to be honest.
Angles that they got there, but I think Narvalo in particular able to have that off angle really helped. For me, the Falcons, I think that they should have done a little bit more. They played still
Hello,
a little
Gunday.
bit too defensively. But in
How
the
are
end,
you,
they started
beautiful
to
lady?
split off a
I'm
little bit. It was
okay.
much better.
Well, here's the head-to-head brought to you by the
Thank you so
Saudi
much for
National
dropping
Team
by,
Falcons versus
dropping
Horror
by,
from this
Arbin.
previous game. Horror doing quite a bit of work, doing quite a lot of
I already
damage
saw
here, 7
you.
overall, but not quite able to keep up with Team Falcons, mainly thanks to that circle shift towards the end.
Yeah, Team Falcons having that circle shift that definitely helped them big time. And I think one of the main worries that I had looking at Team Falcons was that they just weren't spreading enough. They weren't gaining enough control of that circle. And meanwhile, Hora was being able to do that. But due to the fact that Hora has just been fighting so many teams that whole match and they had already lost a player, it became almost near impossible. As soon as Sky went down trying to get that off angle, it was set and done for Falcons to be able to get the win, but I got to give compliments to Hora. I have been enjoying those splits that this team has been doing. They have gone from 1-2-1 splits, 3-1, and then they end up mixing it up to everybody just going solo. They're making sure that they just get a lot of the zone, and they were able to do that perfectly at one point. They had full control of the southeast.
But Falcons will walk
Sky
away
not
with 22 points
skying.
there with the 12 eliminations.
At the
Thanks
moment,
to Narvalo,
yet.
Frenchman. We love the French
But this
being
is
able to
like
hold
a
on to
good
that
game
position,
for Horror
towards the top there.
Esports.
Neptura is able to
So, but we
overlook
still
exactly
got
what
2
was
more
going on
Miramars.
and hold their opponents at bay.
You know what's so interesting about the overalls being so close as well? Is Falcons were at the bottom of the leaderboard.
Watch party on
22
Instagram? Can we
points.
do that?
They are now looking at the top 8, which is a really nice setup for the last 2 games of the day. Going into tomorrow as well. This is exactly, I think, the right timing for them to get a win, because now that mindset should be super refreshed.
Did Power get a lot of eliminations and no placement points against Evan?
Power's like placement points. What are those? We're just going to go with, you know what? Let's continue to be aggressive. Yeah, they ended up with 5 eliminations. No surprise there out of that team. DRX, I was actually really surprised at the push that DRX ended up doing on Young Galacticos. They thought that maybe they were going to be able to just win that engagement, but little did they know Hora was looking to third party that fight, and it kind of opened later the area of just for Hora to try to gain more control of the circles.
Yeah, that's kind of the important thing when you get a shift like that, right, Neptura? The fact that those teams down in the south, they're very likely to not win out that game. So focus on those eliminations down to the south with the Yangon and the Horror situation going on.
Oh yeah, Arbin, I
Horror was able to do
remember.
that brilliantly, I
Yeah.
think, in those final moments.
The thing is, you know, we just recently got our connection back. You know, during the playoffs or like the group stages, we really wanted to go live, you know, for the stream, for the watch parties, just that we didn't really have any connection. You know, it is how we do it in the Philippines. But it's okay. I mean, it's just day number 1, guys. I feel like a lot of Purple Hearts right now are a little bit down, or maybe feeling the pressure. But it's okay. It's just day number 1. There's plenty more chances to go for teams to
I wish they would have made a sooner decision on just
come back.
push towards where Team Falcons was. That would have been the winning play for that squad.
Potentially. And now, though, with Erangel done, we move on to Miramar and see how it's going to play out for the last 2 games here of the day. Let's take a look at the breakdown of the numbers, see who's able to perform. And you've got teams in there like Horror. I think Weibo as well still needs to do a little bit more here. Neptura overall.
Hi, Bis. Wash, Llama. Hi, Bis, Wash.
But so far beyond that, been a bit more quiet, I think.
They have. It's almost like they're waiting for something, which makes me nervous, because last time they just kind of held their peace and waited a little while. We saw a very strong day from them, so we'll see about that. I am interested as well, though. I'm kind of surprised that APG are not here. Alpha Gaming not on this list. Historically, a team that's very, very good on Miramar, just not making those numbers.
Yeah, Nepali. I have a sister.
Towards the top is going to be none other than Regnum Karya. This team has been.
Don't worry, CR7 Horror is in Saudi to motivate them. They will show their real game. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, like CR7 is hands-on with his team.
You can see Young Galacticos with that play doing just enough.
Wow, Yangon Galacticos right now at the top, dethroning Alter Ego Eris, and then we got DRX, and this is what I say. This is what I always talk about DRX and their game style. I think we are seeing some sort of resurgence in terms of their original gameplay, that they're not keen on getting chicken dinners, but like consistency and elimination points. DRX is doing it again. Power Esports is there, Regnum Karya Esports. I mean, it's okay. Our first top 5 teams, at least for day number 1, and this could easily be, get reshuffled again because we still got more games to go. But for the second page, we got Ida Esports, Horror at number 10, Nongshim. We got 4th Thrice, Team Secret, Global, Thunder Talk Global, Fireflux, and E Arena. So we only have E Arena right now as the single team with a single-digit score as well.
To really get their stride, get that momentum going, and now look at them.
Definitely impressive stuff. We'll see if this can continue. Imagine if they finished it with just like no placement points, but like 90 limbs.
Please do that. That's what I want. That'll be me unboxing a surprise.
You'd be very excited. And let's all unbox together because the PUBG Mobile Airdrop Carnival is now live. Don't miss out the final 3 days this weekend. Log in to summon your supply airdrop and collect 2025 airdrop vouchers for your chance to win official merch, smartphones, BD partner rewards, permanent in-game items, and more. Every participate is guaranteed rewards. So come and get those unboxings done. All these players, they can't unbox right now because they're ready to get into Miramar. So without further ado, thank you very much, guys. It is time to head over to the Dusty Dunes. It's Miramar. Let's get it for the penultimate game of the day.
Falcons are able to rise again with a chicken dinner in match number 4 on the day, but they need to keep pace now. Goodness me, try not to swallow the water next time. But either way, they are going to have to try and keep pace with the top page because they have managed to breach there. But Power currently no placement points, still ahead of them, right? There's a little bit more to do. And if you want to keep track of exactly what every single one of our players is doing during the PMWC, you can on our official map feed on the PUBG Mobile eSports channel. You can see where everybody's rotating all the time, all day. It is useful if you want to break things down, if you want to get a little insight as to what teams are doing at every step of the match.
That's it, isn't it? Well, hey, we're getting into Miramar, and you mentioned Falcons, but I love what the desk said about Power. It's insane how high up the standings they are purely based off of eliminations, and you do raise the question. They start getting placement points, I think they're going to be the champions. I really do, at least based off of their performance over the 4 games that we have witnessed. It is spectacular, and I think a rarity, really, to see how well Power is doing. And well, you got to appreciate it. You got to love it. Falcons jump up the standings. Power still doing very, very well. Yangon Galacticos taking over first place for the Alter Ego Eris team, who was there for the longest time. Things are shifting about, and the most important thing, right, is to make sure you are the team going into day 3 setting the threshold.
With 6 matches to play today, getting anything over 50 points will be great news. I mean, the biggest games that we've seen, or days rather, that we've seen for teams like Nongshim Red Force, I think, they were able to get over 60 points in a single day.
That's right.
So getting up there would be phenomenal. But the fact is, this table is looking really flat. You can guarantee that there's going to be a little bit more volatility towards the top side of these tables with how close things are. I mean, from first place down towards, getting on towards 8th, right? There's an 11-point difference. That's really closable, especially in these stages of the tournament where teams are able to take those risks. That's one big game, and all of a sudden, you're on the top of the pile.
Well, to put it in perspective, what Falcons, I believe, was in 14th or so place going into that last game. They end up getting the winner chicken dinner, 12 eliminations, putting them all the way up in top 6. And mind you, they are only just 3 points away from breaking into top 3.
That's how close it is. So a lot of volatility. Things are going to continue to shift within our top 5. And, well, with Alpha 7 not being here, the championship is wide open. Anybody can take it. The question is, who wants it the most? The players themselves are the ones that control their destiny. Map number 5, we're heading into Miramar. Where are we going?
Ooh, playing path on the south side this time around, from Valle de Mar over towards Impala. So north entrance a little bit difficult, and Potso potentially tricky to get towards. Of course, now uncontested because Alpha 7 did so badly that they weren't able to make it into this stage of the tournament. Falcons would be alone on there, but they have to get there first. And the question is, do they want to get out there? It's about 3 kilometers away from this plane path, maybe a little bit more actually. So it could be difficult to get up towards. But that western path rotate can be nice and friendly. It's a question of getting those vehicles on side though, as we head on in. Our plane now just crossing Chumasera.
Don't think we're going to have any hot drops, at least based off of where I believe these teams are going to be landing for our first Miramar in grand finals of day 1, but there is always a chance, right? Things get spicy. Even though people put their landing zones out there, doesn't mean they're not willing to change it up and take a team by surprise. And well, that could very well happen. I believe going even back to the survival stage, we had a bit of a hot drop over in El Pozo. That was an area that we were watching very, very closely. So maybe we see a repeat of that. Falcons over on the left-hand side by Hora. That's going to be an interesting one if they decide to land next to each other. Very curious where this next zone, or first zone I should say, is going to pop up, because that's going to tell the true story of what we can expect.
Ooh, I'm looking at Picardo right now. There's a lot of teams in the air over it right now. Could be difficult. Power definitely looking to try and drop there. I think either are going to go a little bit longer, as are Nongshim Red Force. Regnum Kaya disengaging from it as well. Down towards Puerto Paraíso. A little bit close by for DRX and Weibo, but they will chill out. So nobody getting too aggy right now. West Coast, though, could be Falcons getting spotted.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Falcons, Hora, well, they're relatively close to each other. Obviously trying to land on those vehicles so they can have them for rotates, maybe even overtaking high ground a little bit later on, but they do separate themselves. I always gets concerned when I start to see some split drops, and at least coming into this, I was expecting at least 3 split drops, which we do get a couple of them. The Falcons by far taking the cake with Ralph all the way in the south, forced to go up north to join Narvalo and Koa, which he's going to be doing exactly that. Horner, though, not far behind necessarily. I'm curious if they decide to challenge the solo of Ralph, if they choose to get spicy.
I don't think this is a good idea. If Oro want to head up towards the north, I wouldn't be surprised to see them send all the way to a place like Cobraria, currently unoccupied. I think chasing down the solo, if they can get the shots, sure, but if Ralph can get over towards El Pozo as soon as he goes in, I don't think if you're Oro, you want to commit here, right? And the fact is that there's about 600, 700 meters between these two teams. I don't think that they're going to be able to catch this one. But I think heading up to La Cobraria on a circle like this is potentially a little bit better of a decision to make, right? In this scenario, you'll be up on that north side. You know not too many teams are going to be there. You'll be out early over towards that north side on a circle like this, and they're going to be able to find it. Okay, hang on a minute. Maybe they are going to try and clip the back of Falcons, but yeah, I don't rate the decision to chase this one down.
Right.
You don't want hot drops, right?
Right.
Sure, you might be able to pick up a point early.
Oh, they're close.
Narvalo, actually, who's already had some looting time, might actually take some shots out.
He should.
This is why you don't want to pursue too far.
Oh, gets a little bit of damage onto Jiggle, but not enough to drop him. If Hora was wanting to pursue Falcons, I believe those shots ringing out is going to change their minds, and they'll continue to go up north. And for Falcons, they'll continue to distance themselves, go towards El Pozo, and loot up. So this fight most likely not going to happen anymore. Maybe Hora was thinking about it, but the shots were enough to deter them. Now we start to look more into the stage, and Nongshim Red Force, great spot central. We also have Alter Egos, who are set up quite nicely. They've got the 2-2 split, plenty of loot between them. And I think Alter Egos are due for a pretty decent game. I'm kind of feeling, I don't know, my sense they're telling me Alter Egos, this is their game to take.
Now, what's going to happen is Power are going to get a chicken dinner with 0 elims.
Oh, show 0 elims?
Yeah, anyone looking at the table would be like, oh, that's a normal amount. But no, it'd be the weirdest 10 to 30 split you've ever seen in your life.
That's right, that's right.
Goodness me. No, I'm not entirely sure, of course. There's still 16 teams, 64 players who are in this one. However, Power are in a very central location on this, just out to the east of Hacienda del Patron, with Thunder Talk out to their further east as well. They're in a nice little compound and they can chill out for the time being. We're up to about 5 minutes now, which means looting phase should be over for a lot of the teams that hit ground early. So teams like Power, who dropped Ricardo, they should be done and dusted. However, teams like Aura and Falcons, they're going to be out and looting for a little bit longer, maybe up to minute 6, 7 potentially, if Aura actually don't settle down.
Yeah, Aura they are moving and grooving. The good thing for them, the entire northern zone of this stage is wide open, including those hilltops that they can take over if they so decide. I do start to look towards Fireflux, however. Regnum Caria, E-Arena, Team Secret, relatively close, and DRX is getting very close to E-Arena, mind you. They are pushing straight in. You notice on your screen top left, there will be an E-Arena member. If DRX can keep their head on a swivel, they might start taking some shots, taking some damage.
Looks like they're going to keep things nice and linear. A nice spread out train. Good spacing for DRX on their rotate. Keep on the southeast flank. And of course, we always advise against all rotating in the same vehicle, especially early and especially on Miramar. Getting spotted out can be disastrous. So taking this 4-player convoy, that's exactly how you want to be operating. If you guys are home and trying to pick up some tips, that's a good one. Early on, playing split, you're very, very mobile. You're a little bit more flexible. That's what DRX are looking for as they head to the east of Minas Generalis, up towards potentially where Alter Ego and Team Secret are playing.
And also for Fourth Rives in the same path as EDA as they continue to move up north. As we take a look at Yangon Galacticus, a team that has been performing incredibly well, currently first place off the back of a third place game number 4. They've been highly consistent, been waiting for this roster to truly show what they're made of. I think today has been the shining example of what we can expect Yangon Galacticus to truly be. They'll be rotating up north kind of in the same fashion that Horda did a little bit earlier, opposite of Falcons, probably most likely going above where Falcons are at. But I do have some concern if that is going to be the case, because there's not going to be a lot of areas they can truly park the bus, because Falcons and Horda are controlling that area. And there is an opportunity for Yangon Galacticus if they go a little bit too far north to get pincered between both of those rosters. So they have to play this carefully.
Fourth Rives taking up position on the high ground. Fireflux, they've caught E-Arena, and that's 2 of them going down very, very quickly. And that's a 3rd as well. Oh, no, this is nasty news for the team at the bottom of the tables as well. Oh, dear, oh, dear. That's 2 players now remain for them. And this crash is going quite well for Fireflux to regroup on this spot. Tony K, Joker, that's another one sent on in, and Scarface handles business. This is what we've been waiting to see from Fireflux today. They were highly performant in the survival stages, and that is what we've been looking out for.
And Solus with M249 shooting the bodies. Fireflux has awoken from their slumber. 13th place no longer. They want to be up in the top 5 off the back of our last 2 games. Nice to see them finally getting active for E-Arena. Well, a team that was truly the shining examples throughout the survival stage, struggling tremendously, and even surprising the fact that they get their compound taken over, because one of the shining examples about E-Arena that I truly started becoming a much more fan of was their ability to hold down hardcover POIs. You could not break in. It didn't matter if there was 2 or 3 teams challenging their house. They were going to hold it down. In this case, though, they don't, and they fully get wiped, and Fireflux stays up nice and strong, and they've got a great spot in the current zone. Let's see what the next one holds.
Hey, you know what? E-Arena still have the moves. Have you seen those walkouts at the start of the day? I saw the moonwalk today, hitting them with the MJ.
Was it good?
Yeah, the mic was well. It was acceptable. It was certainly identifiable. Circle over to the east side here for phase 2. A lot of open ground to the east side of San Martin and Hacienda del Patron. Currently, the center of the circle still occupied by Alter Ego and quite a big spread. I imagine they're going to want to look to get back together here with DRX on the south flank, with Thunder Talk as well on a bit of a split, but a lot closer together. About 600 meters sits between both of their outposts here for Thunder Talk.
Well, same narrative for me for Yangon Galacticus. I was
concerned maybe they would pincer themselves in between Falcons and Hora, but they do decide to stay on the outskirts of the zone. But even so, they're still going to have to deal with Falcons or Hora most likely once they start to come in. And now you add in 4 Thrives. You got 4 teams who could be contesting each other on the northern zone of the current stage. That's going to be a fight to watch out for without question. But for Power, the high ground is in. Fireflux is very aware of this, but you got to appreciate the current power position from Power Esports.
Easy with the high ground over towards Ketch. I think they're both aware of each other's position here and just biding their time. Of course, these positions on these plateaus always look so powerful. The difficulty is as soon as you get knocked or as soon as you take a challenge and maybe you get a little bit too bold, you go down. It's a massive mission to try and get you back up, right? You have to either send another player up there or you have to drop down when you've already been knocked and someone has to rotate out towards you. It takes a lot of time, a lot of investment on that, so you do need to be very careful with those high ground positions.
Fireflux going to be opposite of them. Falcons continue to move up, managed to stay alive for quite some time. The only shots, the only activity we see from them so far was firing on Sleepy. Was on the back of a buggy. Sort of started to rotate up. Yangon Galactica's taking a huge rotate north. That most likely drops south. A lot more distance between them than I was expecting. I really thought they were going to be closely contested. You do have 4 Thrives with Naki and Co, who's going to be very close to the Falcons roster. They start to huddle up and potentially crash in on each other. For Weibo, they do have Team Secret in their line of sights, but this 4 Thrives Falcons fight, yeah, it's going down.
Koa diverts almost immediately, but will he be able to get away here? I'm not sure if the cover's going to be there. Just about escapes, not unscathed though, and that vehicle's going to be low, as is his health bar. Navalo just putting a little bit of suppression down. They will try and maintain the outskirts here on the northern edge, and they'll be okay for the time being.
Okay, for the time being, as you said, staying alive just a little bit longer. They kind of tempted fate, push into 4 Thrives, take over the compound. Well, 4 Thrives said, nah, it's just simply not going to work. Another zone shift is going to take place. You notice YG, Yangon Galactica's still up in the north. They've been in blue now for, I want to say, nearly half of the game at this point, and they'll have to continue to drop down south, which is going to be right next to Falcons. So that fight most likely going to ensue, and with Falcons getting their health all the way back up, I think this is about to go down.
I think they might actually, well, it depends, yeah. If they go for that rotate out to the east, it might be a little bit less sort of considered there for Yangon Galacticos as Silas goes down on a little bowl ramp jump there. Too overexposed as DRX able to sweep that one away. So Regnum Kaya down to 3 players. That's not too favorable, but they are nice and central on the circle.
Yes, they are. Nice shot from Weibo. Weibo takes down Jiggle from Hora, who unfortunately loses a player. That was one who took early damage, and Weibo, not too far behind, is going to keep Hora in their line of sights. And well, this is a team that performed exceptionally well in game number 4, performing in 2nd place, nearly taking over the Falcons' position. They couldn't hold it down. I was very impressed with No Fear, and I'm expecting him to be huge in this moment. Wild from Regnum Karya, trying to take down Alva from Alter Egos, who had plenty of great moments, but for Wild, well, he's going to fall a bit short.
Rosemary had the off angle, nothing really doing there. Regnum Kaya starting to falter. Meanwhile, over on that northern side, Falcons did find a player from Yangon Galacticos, and they will have Romeo almost on full surround now. They're putting this pressure on. Redox gets that flush. Hang on a minute, no, that's Koa taking the vehicle up in flames with it. The M249 for Koa. He's going to be able to lay down that damage. Nice and healthy output there for the Falcons, and they disengage. They don't need to overextend here, and it's nice to see.
But it's also for Yangon Galacticos. I mean, there's really nowhere they can go. Forward, you got 4 Thrives waiting on you, and then if you go backwards, you got Falcons who are going to be gatekeeping you. You go down a little bit further, you got Noxium Red Force. It's going to be a tough spot for Yangon Galacticos, a team that stayed so long in the blue zone. I mentioned No Fear. Well, he's currently pinned up. Sky is just a sliver of health. Rosemary desperately trying to hit the shots, and does, as Sky gets a bit antsy, jumping up to get additional vision. Well, it ends up being his undoing.
With that mini 14 through the window just at the right time. Excellent pre-fire there from Rosemary. Alter Ego holding the high ground here. They have such powerful position over this next circle, and they want to try and maintain that space. They're doing well with 3 players on that north flank. They've got Krypton far out on the southeast side, and that's an off angle actually with shots over towards actually potentially over towards Sleepy if he gets a little bit too big for his boots.
Rosemary repositioned. No Fear will stay down low. No reason to get too crazy on him. The smokes are out. Rosemary will continue to keep his head down. APG Team Secret start to get active. Dog with the offing, unfortunately, is down. He's going to have no effect in his fight unless Seahawk can get over and maybe get him back onto his feet. Reefus, nade in hand, throws it out. That looks like a nice cook and a great connection.
Doc is down, but the rest of APG can keep on going. Rotate around, try and slip this one. Around the edge there they go, and actually Doc could be resable here. Close to Fireflux though, and that will be a lot of danger for this Res. Will be very, very difficult to make it work. In the meantime, Team Secret actually getting handled across the way from Fireflux themselves. Shots overhead.
Fireflux been performing well. They're trying to go up the standings. This is their game to take. They started off hot and heavy. They currently sit at 6 eliminations. All 4 members still alive. Now Catch, I hope he's not spreading himself a bit too thin, separating himself from the additional rosters, everybody else in a vehicle. So that'll be my concern. But for No Fear and Rosemary, well, No Fear tried to stay up as long as he could, but the shed, unfortunately, will be his demise.
Sook actually using the explosive arrows there, taking one of those knocks over towards Hodder. He's going to be happy with that one, but Weibo currently out on that east side, have a little bit further to go here. That east side approach is really, really weird and finicky. They've got that long channel of road for Weibo to roll along on that northern side of the current circle. It spits you out with very little info, which means that they kind of need to head down south and try and put pressure on that way to approach towards Alter Ego, but that's really, really difficult in its own right? You've got Alter Ego who've been holding. We've seen how effective they are in that location. I don't think that Weibo are going to be able to get too much further here.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And mind you, Falcons has also kind of got into their vicinity. Falcons have been the outskirt team, consistently gunning down players, not overcommitting, but at least having a presence, keeping them in the back of their minds are their enemies. And well, we see Suke, as you said, from Sleepy from a distance. Wait, and I know Seven is loving that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I wonder if it was that the straight shot or the explosion that got him though. I have to double check. We'll get the analysts on that one, breaking down the clip. That was kind of nuts, though. You'd love to see it. Sook seems to be, you know, this proponent of
Legolas
of the bow and arrow. He loves it.
Yeah,
he loves it.
You know, it's funny, when I was doing my research coming into this, Seven specifically brought him up and said explosive arrows. Watch him with the bow. Let's watch Order now as they go for the challenge onto Falcons. Rosemary has him pinned in between, and Rosemary is a guy I do not want on my backside. He is truly devastating. We've witnessed it just a little bit earlier on Horda Esports. Now he can do it on Falcons, but Order cooking the nade, throws it out. Is it good? Well, a little bit of damage on Narvalo. Redux will answer back with his own, but it doesn't have an area effect. And Redux is very weak. Order is taking on 2 members from Falcons and doing it in sensational fashion.
They have that back flank as well from Rosemary. Anita is feet, and Ralph and Redux both fall, one after the other. The forward position and the middle spot for the Falcons both going down, and it looks like Weibo are actually going to be able to break through this one. With Narvalo falling, there's only one player now left standing, and Sook is on the hunt.
And I wonder if APG starts to get active in this fight too, because Doc is getting dangerously close. There's Order from a distance, trying to take down Avila, but can't do it. He backs away for the meantime. Still a chance Falcons can maybe recover with the duo in this moment, but the pressure from Weibo is unrelenting. Koa, the tip of the spear, to try and maybe get a couple of shots on the Order. Again, you can't really go back because you got Alter Egos who's going to be just behind you with Alpha. You also got Weibo starting to push in, and the attack is true, but Order will fall. Sook jumps out. Koa's going to be down. Can Sook pull off the hat trick?
It's Narvalo up against them. He can clutch these. We've seen it before. And Weibo are low. It's just Sook. And around the edge with a Scar goes for the spray down, but the heel is there. And Narvalo now at a disadvantage. Takes the corner, takes the fight. And once more, Narvalo survives out in the edge of the zone, eliminating Weibo.
All right, the question is, can he get his teammate back into the fight? Where is his downs mate? Is it just behind him? You'd have to think so. There it is. That's going to be Koa. Getting Koa back in this fight would be huge. Meanwhile, APG starts to move in. Koa's been finished, and Narvalo once again has to take on the entirety of another roster. This time, a 1v4. Reefus with that off angle. I think this is probably going to be the end. Plus, you got Alpha, who's going to be looking dead at you. Narvalo in dire straits. If he can somehow, some way survive and get into zone, it would be miraculous.
Spray down. Narvalo slams it into reverse, trying to pull a quick J slide there, but actually it's APG who might have given him a lifeline. He's actually down and into the road gully.
And he's dipping, he's dodging, he's swerving and moving. He's going up top to get that member of Alvala. Oh, can't get the finish, and that's going to be okay. A valiant effort. I felt Falcons from the start to the finish never really truly had a home, never truly had a legitimate route to stay safe. They were putting a lot of pressure on teams, but they were never able to establish themselves in a specific area and play for late game. That's just the way it goes. Miraculously, though, Yangon Galacticus is doing quite well. I expected him to be eliminated a little bit earlier on, but for APG, Alter Egos, let's see how this fight ends up unfolding. Alter Egos got to do it as a duo.
Moana and Krypton will have to play off one another. The circle kind of shifted away from them right now. DRX are in the center. They're by that roadside. They've got a lot of pressure outwards. Not too many threats to be sent their way. Fireflux, they're kind of on a linear approach from the south side. Whilst they have all 4 players alive, they've managed to rack up 7 elims, sure, but they are right with their backs to the blue zone, and Power marauding around them as well.
Jeez. Yo, Top, go off, my boy. That's 2 down from Thunder Talk. Outputting the damage tremendously. I say 2 down, 1 manages to get out with his life, but just with a sliver of hell. Jing down low. I don't know if it's going to happen. Reefus, this might be a nice nade. It's cooked well. It's thrown out. Doc just below, and he'll take off a sliver of health. Not much, but keeps the pressure on Zing. You know he doesn't feel comfortable in this moment. And for APG, on a tear. They're only on 4 eliminations, but at this rate, I don't know where they're going to end up.
A little bit more damage sent over to him, but the first aid was already ticking up. He will be healed. This is the regroup coming on through. A nice drop on the smoke there. Let's go for the weapon spot, but the ammo's already low, but they get it. Nonetheless, over the driver as well. Sitting will be taken down, and now Sing continues to be under pressure. However, they can't breach this high ground just yet. With Ida over the way, there's so much going on in this northeast quadrant.
APG holding on tight. Mind you, still 4 strong. You mentioned Ida, they're going to be just up ahead, and they look to be progressing forward just a bit more. So for APG, it's imperative that they focus the fights correctly. And Aaron, most likely going to be the first one targeted. ZL starts to move up towards that rock. Reefus down low, still trying to keep Thunder Talk in check on the low ground. I love where APG is currently at, and I have to favor them in this fight. But again, if they don't do this properly, Ida is going to eat them alive.
Darkin with the nade pulled over towards APG. Thinks better of it. Waiting for someone to give some information away. There's all 4 players alive on the northeast side. They continue their march here for Alpha Gaming. We have been hoping for more from this roster. The names they've got have some prestige, and Reefus looks to start to pick up the pace here, but backed off the angle, they'll have to take another crack.
5 eliminations for APG. This could be a first place game. They could take the first place position. Alter Egos are already out. They're going to lose it. Yangon Galacticus most likely has already passed them up. Scarface on your screen. Now Fireflux, again, a tremendous game. Nearly double digits already. 4 members still alive. They started early, and they have refused to slow down. They now start to challenge APG, but Reefus, he's deadly. That man has been hitting shot after shot, and 1 member from Fireflux is now down.
Ziol able to find Madcap. A nade over towards Ziol's position, and top is the trade-off here. Scarface forwards, does a lot of work against them, but will not win that trade. Gonna get flushed as well, almost certainly there. And have to fight on as 3 for Fireflux, but hang on a minute, no, because Madcap's down.
That's right.
He's all the way out on the flank. I think that res is coming through, though.
To see, catch the distance, trying to keep APG at bay. Meanwhile, Ida has been there, but not really. You know, could they have taken advantage of this third party? Maybe, but they're well within zone. So the question is, really, can Thunder Talk even start to break in? APG, once this fight does end up concluding, if it does against Fireflux, who have managed to recover. You mentioned those revives. Well, now they're going to be a 4-man unit. And I like their chances a lot better in the moment APG starts to regroup.
Like Fireflux might be able to keep all 4 of their players alive as well. So 2 full 4 squads on the eastern side. Something also monumental could be happening. It's brewing, it's bubbling under right now. But Power Esports could be on their way to their first placement point. We've got 10 teams remaining. 2 more need to drop.
That is true. But of course, they are at 0 eliminations. Winner, winner, chicken dinner with 0 elims to keep the narrative alive. Let's find out. Well, this is the first time we've seen them really get active this game as they tried to take over the high ground over Fireflux. We've watched Fireflux and APG go toe-to-toe with each other. Fireflux looked to be on their wits' end, but they managed to get their teammates back up. And in fact, this secondary fight looks great. Scarface, let's do it, boy. Continue to push up. Get the downs when one comes in, but he's going to be traded out. Metcalf, though, he's truly devastating, but APG answers back, but only for a matter of time before Catch says enough is enough. We're done fighting you. We're the winners.
Everybody turned to pulp on the northeast side of Verdan. Wants more points here with 9 teams remaining. If Fireflux go down now, Power will have earned their first placement point. It's only a matter of time. And a big nade from Ida to close it out, and that is a guaranteed placement point for Power. They're off the mark.
Darkin throws a beautiful nade, gets 3 from Fireflux and takes them out instantaneously. And now you got Power, who have been setting up quite nicely to gatekeep the winner from that engagement. In this case, happens to be Ida ESPORTS, who now is focused on Thunder Talk, who stayed alive miraculously as a duo on the low ground. They took heavy losses, but they're giving it right back.
They stayed out of the fight for the time being, but now they want to try and wade back on in. King steps a little bit too close to the fire and does get burned, hits the deck just in time to avoid the spray down. And Thunder Talk keep the pressure on with Darkin falling. That's going to slow Ida down. Going to have to force that res out. Darkin not really in a safe spot with the blue zone pushing in 15 seconds. Not a lot of time to operate here.
Aaron thought about it. Do I go for the res? Do I go for the challenge? Well, Jing throws a nay. This could be 2, and it's close enough. Aaron takes some damage. Another one starts to go in, but it's going to be a little bit too far. And now for Aaron, really the last hope for Ida. Potentially another one to, I don't know, output some damage, but all eyes on Aaron in the moment. It is amazing. Thunder Talk has put up this much of a fight. They're towards the bottom. They desperately need points to elevate themselves towards the top 5 running, but 4 eliminations, their best game we have seen so far, and it could get even better.
Looks like Aaron will go down last. And Ida, very down on their luck. Now it's just Emre who was across the way, disengaged from that fight for the longest time. Finally, one of the Power players gets taken away from this, and Easy on the forefront will need a little bit of a rescue mission from the rest of the team. Not going to be easy, and actually it's Ragnar who gets caught on the sidelines. So Easy able to find that shot, and DRX now starting to come alive here. They've been in this compound for the longest time, and they want to try and inflict pain now onto the rest of the circle, but El Hadji is still on the hunt.
Yes, he is. For Ragnar's sake, though, I think he tried to get a little bit too fancy on the off angle, and it ended up being his undoing. And, well, he loses his life in the meantime. For Power, though, they look great. DRX is the only team, though, who is left alive with 4 members, but Power's positioning is great. They're hitting wonderful shots, but you gotta appreciate DRX able to utilize this low ground, this little divot. They're going to be devastating. Power, it's going to be hard to knock DRX off of this spot.
Everything
working out as well on that northern side. Going to be difficult to navigate there. You've got solos on every single side of the circle, and right now the most dangerous one is probably Loxy on that southwest edge for Regnum Karya.
I would say so. Loxy could be devastating. Say Cloud, though, hits a nice shot, and that's going to be 2 for Power, dropping off, and the chances of making it to top 3 to the podium now ends. But as you said it best, they do get some placement points, so there is a positive for Emery. He tried his best to stay alive, but DRX takes him out without any drama whatsoever. We're now down to our top 3.
Okay, this should be a free win for DRX right now. They've been able to hold this compound for so long. It's 2 solos. And neither of the solos are in this next circle. They've got control of the hillside. They're in overexposed positions. So Easy goes down. And that is going to be a nice pickup, actually. Hang on a minute.
Very nice.
I said it should be a free win. Hang on a minute. We're just getting word that I lied. I lied to you.
Well, let's see what ends up happening. The pickup might be able to come through. We mentioned Loxy as well, right? From Regnum Karya. He's going to be potentially devastating. And both players, right, from Yangon Galacticus as well as Loxy from Regnum Karya, they're going to be pincering in this DRX roster. Looks to be a beautiful nade. I believe it does connect just a little bit. Here comes DRX. Now, I don't want them to get too aggressive here. They now have 2 players down low, and overexposing yourself to Say Cloud might be a reason why these solos could take a win.
SayCloud has a brilliant sideswipe here, right? You can see that ridge line that rolls down the hill away from Hyunbin. That is what SayCloud is playing on. So Hyunbin flexing down this way. I really like this idea. Loxy should be taken care of by the blue zone. That will just sort of conclude itself here. And SayCloud, sure, he might have the sideline swipe, but the center of the circle is still under control for DRX. And they do manage to keep things together, right? It's not going to get too spicy out here in the open, and he will fall down. DRX close it down. A little bit quiet on that one, but points are points are points, and they will take those 10 placements, add them to their tally, and they'll be up there with the best.
Man, okay, this is the DRX I know.
DRX, just like Power's been eliminating,
this is the DRX that I have been waiting for.
Points, basically securing top 5 just off of that. DRX has done a phenomenal job in the placings. 4th place in game number 1, 10th place in 2nd. They fall down a little bit, but 2nd place in 3rd, or the 4th game I should say, and then 3rd place in the 5th, and then of course 1st place coming out right before your eyes. Beautiful job from DRX, highly consistent in the podium category. That's going to be incredibly valuable when we get to Smash Point on day number 3. DRX, so strong, so powerful, and finally able to get a win.
That was 4th in the 1st, 3rd in the 3rd, and 2nd in the 4th, and a 1st in the 5th there for coming through from DRX. Hope you guys are following that. We certainly were here in the booth, but we are going to head to a quick break whilst we get ready for our final Miramar of the day. Don't go anywhere.